evening, everybody. Dadman Walking 55 here, coming to you from the East Coast, right at 11 o'clock p.m. tonight for something. I don't know what yet. Of course, I titled it Hungry and Dadman, at least, but I think Hungry probably got held up in other things, and it's okay. It was kind of a possible type stream, but hey, if he doesn't make it, that's cool tonight. We still love our friend there so much, and we will see what happens. But hey, without that, you still got me. We'll see what happens tonight. And hey, good to see y'all. Great people in the chat. Yeah. Hey, we got Buddy Hepburn here right off the bat. Good to see you, Buddy. How are you tonight? And like Buddy says, hit like and subscribe buttons. And Emily, hello. Hell, Dave C. How are you tonight? Good, sir. Good to see you. Really an interesting weekend in college football, I will say. It was a very bad weekend of games. Very, very bad weekend of games. Until the Georgia-Alabama game, folks. Wow, what a heck of a – No, you didn't get clickbaited, okay? Nobody got clickbaited. I kind of went with the stream, hoping Hungry would be here. I think things happened and stuff like that. I do not clickbait. No. We take that seriously. I do not clickbait. I was hoping Hungry would make it. He could still be here, but I'm waiting. So you never know. He also had some electrical work around, so who knows if something happened with that. And you also know whether he might have lost internet again because Hungry doesn't. Okay, no, I'm not putting, not tonight, Emily. No, I do take things like that very seriously. It is not false advertisement, and it is not anything like that. It was a situation where I had a chance to go with him, so I put it in the title, hoping he'd be able to be here. But hey, we will move on to Playing Down Under. Hello, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you as always. Good to see you, Sir Dave C. Yeah, good to see you guys tonight. Like I said, Dave actually mentioned something to me the other night with that silly Georgia game. It was really, really interesting to see the last second comeback. Well, it was actually a wild comeback for the great Georgia Bulldogs. They actually took the lead by a point just to give the game back to the Alabama on the very next play, folks. Georgia then drives down, does get a turnover in the end zone. So it's like, crazy. If you like college football, that was a game of what college football should be about. But definitely not Iowa, definitely not Kentucky. Although you can't bash Kentucky, they beat Ole Miss. So join me Wednesday night as we talk a lot more about college football that night, and we will have some fun with that and talk about the games in a lot more detail. Let's see. Yeah, all right. So, but hey, it's all good. Dave, I sent you something if you can check your Twitter DMs if you get a second. How am I? I don't know. A little bit agitated and grumpy tonight. Not necessarily the best moods tonight, but that's kind of what we're trying to get hungry tonight. Come late at night and have some fun late night and kind of pull the sheets off the window and just blow out the windows and do a bit of venting and ranting and just all kinds of stuff like that. Sandry's really good with doing stuff like that with me, and and you never know. We got other people too that can come in and rant, and we'll have some fun together. We'll pick some topics or whatever. What's good in your world? If you're not familiar with what's happened in the U.S. with the hurricanes, it's been really a hard time for a lot of people. They have. We had friends actually in Florida at the landfall of the last hurricane, Helene, and they actually sent me some pictures tonight, and it was very bad damage. Fortunately, their dirt road did not flood. It soaked up the water. They had trees down on their first road, but then they sent me a picture from down the road from the hotel I stayed at a couple weeks ago, and it was like, the road was almost impassable. Lines were down and everything else like that. So do pray for the people where the storm did make landfall. Also pray for the people up in Tennessee, Kentucky now. There is just so much going on right now. in there. One of the roads going through the mountains of North Carolina just is really washed out in the mountains, and it makes you wonder how long it's going to take them to repair those roads. So it really is. Hungry might have run out of food and ate through his internet leads. Well, I don't know. He might do that sometime. Let him wash it down with a Foster's. But hey, he he may do that someday with all the aggravations he's got. No, it's not a Cat 7. There's only 5 categories of hurricanes on the Saffir-Simpson scale. There is actually. Well, let's take a look at that. I'll talk to you about the Saffir-Simpson scale if you do not know what that is. Saffir-Simpson scale is the scale that they use to rate hurricanes on miles per hour, their potential damage based on sustained wind speed. There are 5 categories, 1 through 5 actually. And according to the National Hurricane Center, there are 5. Oh gosh, look how small the writing is. So Cat 1 is very dangerous winds produce some damage. That's where the winds are from 74 to 95 miles per hour, are 64 to 82 knots, or 119 to 153 kilometers per hour. And the Category 1 storms, according to the National Hurricane Center, it describes it as the types of damage due to hurricane winds. Very dangerous winds will produce some damage. Well-constructed frame homes could have damage to roof shingles, vinyl siding, and gutters. Large branches of trees will snap, and shallowly rooted trees may be toppled. Extensive damage to power lines and poles likely result in outages that could last a few to several days. That's a Category 1 storm. And yes, I am eating ice cream. So call this late night dessert with Dadman instead of dinner with Dadman. I am so sorry. The Category 2 storms are from 96 to 110 miles per hour, or 83 to 95 knots, or 154 to 177 kilometers per hour. Category 2 storms are described as extremely dangerous winds will cause extensive damage. Well-constructed frame homes could sustain major roof and siding damage. Many shallowly rooted trees will be snapped or uprooted and block numerous roads. Near total power loss expected with outages that could last from several days to weeks. Oh boy, you're back to 102. Oh gosh. Yeah. Mostly you get a Cat 5. Yeah, it's Cat 5 here in the U.S. too. And hey, Atwood, good to see you tonight. Yep. You got to watch all the people and what they do with damage and stuff, how they get you. Okay, so this is last several days to weeks. Category 3 is considered a major hurricane level. When storms are named and they reach Category 3, which is winds from 111 to 129 miles an hour, they consider and above. They consider the major. And with Category 3, devastating damage will occur. Well-built frame homes may incur major damage or removal of roof decking and gable ends. Many trees will be snapped or uprooted, blocking numerous roads. Electricity and water will be unavailable for several days to weeks after the storm passes. Hey, and we're going to come in with Dave C. Hey, Dave, welcome.
Hello. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Thanks for jumping on with me for a few minutes.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I talked to Hungry earlier this evening, and he was going to come on, but he might have lost power internet connection. He was telling me that he was having some work done, so he said he probably could make it, but then his luck lately has been pretty bad. So, but
it's been off and on with him. It's just one time he's okay, and then the next it gets bad again.
Oh, I know, and like they were saying earlier, he may eat through the internet cables. So, speaking of storms, how did you do down there with this hurricane?
I'm just gonna say very lucky, man. Talking to you the night of, when it was coming up the Gulf, and it was only like a 1. I was like, that's 1's not. It can still do a lot of damage depending on the water, right? And then I just started watching it, interesting enough, I watched a guy on YouTube. I'm not promoting anybody. I'm just saying I was watching this guy, and he had all the stuff, right? And it just, when it got about parallel with me, or or even with me, it started going east, and I got a little nervous because then it was a 2, then it got to a 3, and then it went toward Perry, up there, southeast of Tallahassee. And I started to get, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I started to get pretty nervous about that, because if it would have hooked, all it had to do was hook right, like what was the one last year that took out Vero and stuff like that, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah.
Well, and that you saw that wobble, because that's what thing is. A lot of these storms, they wobble, and people automatically think, well, it's heading east now. Well, it's really wobbles. It's wobbles west, wobbles east. It happens. But yeah, I know what you mean. I was watching that too, because it got a lot closer to us than I thought it was going to. Because we had some really high winds. I had some video sitting out there, shooting some video out late at night after we got the bulk of the storm, and we didn't get an excessive amount of rain though, but we got a lot higher wind than usual.
Right. Well, I remember I moved apartments in the same complex. Do you remember last time the water came through the bathroom air vent? Remember?
I remember.
It wasn't bad. Too. Yeah, so I think as far as wind and everything, I'm probably better off now because I only have the back end of the apartment, and it was blowing a different direction, and I have a bunch of trees in the back, not really big ones that would come in, but
well, Dave, I'm going to let you share a little bit more with that. I need to check it. I think I smell something on the other side of the house. I got to check that out.
Oh, definitely.
I'll be right back. Yeah.
No worries, man. I'll hold it down for you. Yeah, and I'm still concerned about all the damage that it did up in North Carolina and everything like that. I've been kind of shocked to see that up in the Appalachian areas. Hey, playing down under, Agent Atwood. How's everybody? So I've been a little bit concerned about everybody else that's had to deal with the aftermath of that. These things can be very surprising. I just moved down here last year. I used to live here. If anybody doesn't know, when I moved down a year ago, I had the first one that just rained a lot. Not the wind wasn't even that bad, and then this one. I'm just north of Tampa, so I didn't get a lot of rain. Actually, earlier in the day, electricity went out, and then it came back on like an hour later, and I had electricity all night, and I didn't expect that at all. And then it just got bigger and bigger, and as I was saying, I was just very concerned about what it was going to do. And what are you going to do? It's like, oh, well, you moved to Florida, you got to deal with it, right? Yeah, you do. And then all these people in North Carolina and Tennessee and in Atlanta, and they had to deal with way worse than I did. And it's like, well, what do you do? It's like, don't know. I don't have much answers to those kind of things, right, Dadman? It's like,
we always get
where
to
are you
going to
go? It's like my friends. I actually had 2 friends from Alexandria moved from there to North Carolina. They said they got out of the bad part of that, and I was like, well, you move to Florida, you got to deal with hurricanes. But if I lived in Nebraska, I'd have to deal with tornadoes, right?
Oh, tornadoes. See, my dad always feared the tornadoes in a hurricane. He didn't care about the high winds and stuff like that. And they can be bad, but hurricane high winds are really limited to right around the eye, unless you have tornadoes or microburst or downburst in the squall feeder bands. Those are the dangerous things with them. But one of the rule of thumb that a lot of people say, the experts say, is hide from wind, run from water. And basically, back in '96 with Floyd, people dropped 150 miles, 200 miles. Well, like, you don't really have to always evacuate that far, but you do what you got to do and use your judgment. I mean, it's up to you. Heed the advice of the authorities and all that. Speaking of Carolina, the flooding up there is just amazing. And I've seen I-40. We've been on I-40 before going into Knoxville, and the parts of that road, I believe, are washed out now.
The scenes from Asheville are. I've been kind of down about it, but I mean, there's nothing I can do. I donated, a little bit to the Red Cross. I don't donate anything that doesn't have a PayPal or if anybody tells me it's legit. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Right.
I just won't do it. I'm not going to give my credit card. You know what I mean? You just can't.
No,
Unless
that's the thing
it's
is too,
verified.
contractors. And
Yeah.
also, if you got home repairs, one thing they work, especially in the state of Florida, they tell everybody, be careful with licensed contractors. A lot of people go around unlicensed and, you could lose your shirt, have a lot of kind of problems with that by using unlicensed contractors. So you always have to be careful. That thing.
There's always
Fundraisers,
some scumbags out there trying to take
Yeah.
advantage of the situation, right? It's a sad thing to see,
Exactly.
but you got to be aware of that kind of thing. So,
well, our friends over near Madison. I was just over in Madison working a few weeks ago. I understand that it's still like 90% of the area without power. My friend sent me a picture just down the road from the hotel I stayed at the other day. I mean, it's like a big semi could barely get through. You had down lines. You could see the power poles tilted, trees on the road. It was like, I mean, this is the same community that's been hit by 3 named storms, like Category 2 or higher. 3 storms in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and there's some more coming now, actually.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to be a bearer of bad news here, but I'm letting you know now. Yeah. The people that I've been watching on YouTube, they're already talking about some stuff down there in the Caribbean area that may or may not that might head toward the Texas area. So it's not over yet this year.
I've also seen the talk. That's why you study these things early. You don't panic. You just get to the sources you trust, and you just be aware early. Because I've actually heard that a lot of times the storms in October will come towards Florida because of the fronts coming through, and that's what I've heard with the next one. If it develops, because right now they dropped it from a 50 to 40% chance of development. So you just have to keep listening and stuff like that. So, and Putin's cat, but these people are going to be out with weeks, months. This is going to be down there. So, but I will say one thing that's happened, even in a big city like where we are, in 2004, we had 4 named storms in Florida. 3 of them took our power out for about 5 to 7 days. One time it was like one block over had power after about 3 or 4 days. So you talk about frustrating. You see one block over, they got power. Why not us? But what has happened since then is they've upgraded, they strengthened the systems. And we're not underground, but they've improved the responses and the grid to the point where usually when we have bad storms now, we maybe out 6 to 12 hours, instead of days, which is really, really, really cool. But you can't, bury the lines is a good solution, but you can't do it. Like in our neighborhood, it's an older neighborhood. It just costs too much. You won't be able to bury them effectively. And, we pay enough for electricity already. We'll take a little inconvenience. But I will say, Dave, I don't know if you noticed, but when I sat outside the other night, beautiful blue blooms kept going off in the night. All the transformers that were blowing up around the area.
Well, yeah, dude, there was these crazy guys right down in Perry, these storm chaser guys, and a couple of them were standing out in the middle of it was coming right off the coast. Remember, I think I had talked to you before the back end of the storm. I was very worried that this storm was so huge, and most of them are, but this one was really big, right? And so the back end, when it swirls around, on the other side of the eye, that's what I was worried about coming to hit us too, right? It could just come back around and hit back up in the Tampa area. These guys were hitting the front end of that, and I thought it was lightning, but you're saying the transformers are going off all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And a couple went off, and it just lit up the whole sky blue, right? It was so weird, and I thought it was lightning, but these guys were like, no, there's transformers going off. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool, really weird when they happen really close to you. You can hear the sound. We heard one the other night where you had that delay sound. You know how sound travels. You see the flash, then you heard the sound. That was kind of cool.
I've heard them go off. One went off here. That small storm. There must have been a real boom. It was either you or somebody else said that had to be a transformer way down somewhere, or it was just lightning that hit. But it was trying to make light of everything. Would have been cool. You could make a monster movie out of that kind of thing, with the lightning and the blue, and you could put like some kind of thing. Obviously, it's nothing to make fun of, but these guys were sitting there and that wind, and they eventually had to give up. It was so bad, the gusts. I was like, all it took was a piece of wood to come flying out. You know what I mean? Just anything, a steel shed or a piece of tin foil, a tie, anything, just come bouncing, flying down the street where these guys were, and boom, he's gone. So this weather guy who's just doing this like you or me, just sitting there. He's got all this technology and he's hooked up. The interesting part was one of these crazy dudes was sitting there. He's like, it was so loud he couldn't barely even talk.
Yeah.
Apparently the Weather Channel, the actual Weather Channel, was trying to contact this guy and link into his feed. And you could hear him. They didn't cut off he didn't cut off his feed with his own friend. And he's telling the guy, I'm not doing it for less than $1,000. And I'm like, he goes, the Weather Channel's trying to get in on my feed, man. And I was like, 1,000, 5,000. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
And the guy was like, well, if they want to be nice and give me more, but tell them 1,000. And
Coach, Weather Channel has always had the greatest hurricane bloopers. All the stories about Jim Cantori, where he is, everybody gets afraid. But then you see the ones where the Weather Channel meteorologists out there all decked out and braving the wind and putting their body into the gusty wind, and then people walking by in the background in shorts. Like,
these guys were legit, man. They were right in those gusts to where they even had to, like the one big dude, it's like he couldn't take it. And it got it got so dangerous that they were like, they had to go sit in their cars. But hey, you're so right. I'm glad you called those people out. It used to be fun to watch them, but then it got they're so full of it, right? It's, you can reenact it, right? That man, like, oh my God, it's so bad out there. And here comes some dude. He's just, hey, everybody. And he's just like, or some naked joggers jogging.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to cut the feed.
Just casually out there. And then the meteorologist is like, well, that's TV for you,
Yeah, they're all leaned over and they're like, this is so dangerous and terrible. Don't do this. And here comes some old couple walking by.
Like, Sonny, what's your problem? And tree cutting is a good thing to do. If you get a lot of trees trimmed, that will keep. That's the biggest thing that we've had usually in our neighborhoods is falling trees, taking out power lines and things. If the homeowners do it, or if the utilities come by and trim the trees, that does a lot to. Before the storm, I understood that up in North Georgia and some places in North Georgia, they actually were clearing trees or trimming trees back about a week and a half before the storm, which the area did not have a thing. Hey, Putin's cat, action statement. Yes, exactly. Because damn it, especially in Florida, your damn insurance company don't want to have a tree near your house.
Yeah, you can't have these big trees near your house.
No,
if you have a home.
Jeez.
You can't do it. In fact, you guys, that's an excellent point from both of you, that even the small trees out back here, I was like, they're fine. They're tall, but they wouldn't come close to the building. They wouldn't have done any damage. But you just don't know, man. You don't know what's coming down the road.
You don't, but I tell you, the insurance, it's tough insurance in Florida. That's another issue. You got to have experts to get into that. But I mean, it's getting harder having homeowners insurance in Florida. But if you got a tree, you might as well get rid of all your trees, because at some point they're going to want them gone. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, playing down under, you got to have trees or we're all die off, man. You got to have the bees too, man.
Tell that to the insurance companies, But yeah, it's let's go ahead and finish category 3 and 4 and 5, because see, category 3 is the major hurricane, and let's see, again, it's 111 to 129 miles an hour, or 96 to 112 knots, or 178 to 208 kilometers per hour. Devastating damage will occur. Well-built frames may incur major damage or removal of roof decking and gable ends. This is from the National Hurricane Society. National Hurricane Center, and their description on the Sanford-Simpson scale. Many trees will be snapped or uprooted, blocking numerous roads. Electricity and water will be unavailable for several days to weeks after the storm passes. Now, crap, I hit the wrong button. Now, Cat 4. This storm actually strengthened to a Cat 4. I think it was around 100. I think it was about 130, 135 at landfall.
Oh, at
And
least.
this one, yeah,
At least.
130 to 156 miles per hour, 113 to 136 knots, 209 to 251 kilometers per hour. Catastrophic damage will occur. Well-built framed homes can sustain severe damage with loss of most of the roof structure and or some exterior walls. Most trees will be snapped or uprooted and power poles down. Fallen trees and power poles will isolate residential areas, especially in the rural parts of Florida that just got hit. This has happened with many other storms. You basically need a chainsaw if you're going to get out and go around places. Power outages will. And here's the thing is, too.
The big chainsaws, though.
Exactly. And power outages in these areas will last weeks to possibly months. Most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks or months. And that's a lot of what they've seen over there. My friend sent me some pictures from Madison. They were very fortunate. They had a trailer. The trailer was fine, but they had moved to a regular house with their mother, and they did okay. It's just mostly a little bit of cosmetic stuff on the back, like with screens and patios, furniture and stuff, cleaning up the yards. But they said down the road, there were newer, well-built homes that had roofs missing and stuff like that. Homes that really, truly had a lot of damage, which were newer construction. You would have thought that they would not have had the problems, but they did. It
makes you think why they're not building these homes better, right? Why not? How's it?
I think that there's a limit to what you can build, though, and how well you can build them.
It's the money, Dad, man. If you can afford it, you can buy the better stuff and get people to actually, when they're nailing it in, that they do the right job. Wasn't it a couple years ago down there? Was it Vero Beach that I had mentioned, or one of the beaches that got really blasted and that had one house sitting there all by itself?
Oh, I think so. I'm not sure which one it is.
Do you remember that picture, the white one?
I think I do. I just don't remember what that is. Hello, Mrs. Yeah. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, well, those other houses have been around for a long time and until then, right? So if they're going to rebuild, it should be mandatory.
Hurricane Andrew back in 92 really triggered a lot of the improvement in construction, especially in Florida, because of the shoddy construction. And they were not designed for those higher winds. I don't think they had the technology so much, and materials have gotten better over the years. But basically, when we put a metal roof on our house, one of the selling points with it was that it would be, it gets inspected and everything, but they have extra screws. You could actually have a metal roof put on, or you could have it up to the Miami municipal code with extra screws up to like a Category 4 hurricane. And that's what we chose to do, which basically meant extra screws, extra tightening on the roof, and we thank God we got that, because I think if we did not have that roof in the Irma, when the back awning went off, probably the whole roof would have gone. Yeah.
I don't think it would have survived that.
No, exactly.
Yeah, these things are so crazy, everybody. Like, again, you get up the next day and you're like, oh man, that wasn't too bad. But other people, you're thinking of but all the way up to North Carolina like that, this just in the flooding, right? Is what hurt a lot of people.
Well, Category 5, the last category, there's not 7 like Playing Down Under said somebody was having fun with him, but hey, Category 5 is the worst category. Hit the wrong button again.
Anything worse than that is I don't
know. They've actually had Category 5 storms, and some have hit. Now, I'm going to talk about one in just a second, but see, Category 5 is 157 miles an hour or higher, 137 knots or higher, or 252 kilometers per hour or higher. This one is described on the Saffir-Simpson scale, according to the National Hurricane Center. Catastrophic damage will occur. A high percentage of frame homes will be destroyed, with total roof failure and wall collapse. Fallen trees and power poles will isolate residential areas. Power outages will last for weeks to possibly months. Most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks or months. So that's Category 5. The last Category 5 storm that I'm aware of that hit Florida was, I believe it's Hurricane Michael in 2018. Let me see.
Yeah. I go all the way back to Hurricane David, actually, because I just remember that.
Oh, gosh. I wanted a day off of school. These kids, brand kids now get days off school. They made us go in. It was Labor Day weekend. It ruined our whole Labor Day. And then also the next day, well, no, y'all had to get to school anyway. Yes, Pune's cat. Andrew was a Cat 5 when it hit on August 23rd. I just started my first job out of college. Yeah. With winds of 260 kilometers per hour or 160 miles. So it's
this one
Category 5. Yep.
This one was that had some of the top speeds in Category 5. It just didn't hit ground speed. That's why they didn't make it 5. It might as well have been. I mean, it was that close to being 1. At one point, that guy was showing 165 mile top speeds. If people know what we're talking about, you know what I mean?
Well, what happened with this, though, the storm, I think it jumped some of the predictions. One, when it hit Florida, it bent a little more eastwardly before it went back up to Tennessee and Kentucky. But it picked up such a forward speed, I don't think that they saw it coming, because had that was going forward speed at like 23 miles per hour. That is fast. Had that gone a normal 10 or 12 miles per hour, which is still fast, that you imagine the time that storm could have exploded up into something a lot worse. Hurricane Michael was in the same area in 2018. It was like a 2 or 1, and it was kind of getting downplayed. But there was a YouTuber that I trust go for my sources, and he's like warning everybody, this thing could explode. This thing could explode. Hurricane Michael went into Panama City Beach. It was actually strengthening as it hit land. They went back. They rated it as a 4 at the time of the newscast and all, but they went back based on the research and the scientific data and determined it was strengthened and had actually reached Category 5 strength at landfall. So, and if you look at the satellite pictures of Michael when it went through Florida up to Alabama, Georgia, it's a very heavy industrial, wooded area. It's like a buzzsaw went through the whole area. You could just see all the trees just gone on the whole swath of the path of the hurricane.
Yeah, all you see, some pictures that I'm seeing are just palm trees. There's nothing. There's all the buildings leveled.
Yep.
It's just, I think those were the gusts. It's so weird that some spot won't. It's almost like you like we were talking, like it just swerved one way or another, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It could be a half a mile down the road, be completely wiped out, and you could be across the street and just have minor damage, right?
Well, it's like geography plays a cake, because where we're located. I mean, we should have gotten a lot of the severe feeder bands, but we didn't.
Yeah, I missed all of that.
Those went up into Georgia and South Carolina.
Yep.
And you just wonder, like, why? How do we miss that again? Which, I mean, it's great because those strong winds were bad enough. Even the missus felt like it, not really safe out there at times. We had a gust up to 72 one time, and I will say this storm had a lot more sustained winds than the last one that came through. The last one came through, everybody looked at it and kind of like, it was like, was that it? But that's why all these storms are different. They act differently, and just the main thing is be prepared. Really. That's really.
I can tell you, I don't know if I'll be sticking around for anything that's a 3 and it's only halfway up the Gulf. I might be out of here, man, and just get the car and go wherever I have to, man. But what are you gonna do?
Where are you
gonna go?
Well, the thing is, you just find friends or you find a hotel if you can get ahead of it. And really, they say to only evacuate as far as you need to. Before, people have gone like 3 or 4 states over, and it's like, well, you really don't need to go that far. Just run, hide, get where you can hide from the wind and run from the water. I had our friends over there. They said that they will never ride out another storm again.
Not like this.
It's
not worth it. It's not worth it.
They were on the eye wall. They were on the eye wall or very close to it where they went. And they may have been in the eye. And the thing is, I think they learned the lesson that we have with our kids. See, I ain't never liked the storms. So one time I actually extended a vacation. I was knowing a tropical storm was coming through, so we didn't have to deal with that. But she said the look on the kids' faces were just, she won't do that to them again because it was just too much. And that was a fast-moving storm, though. again, Florida, sometimes we've had storms that move 5 or 6 miles an hour. And Mrs. will tell you, it was like all night with the two kids, like in the living room. It was like it seemed like it lasted 48 hours, not 20 hours, because the storms would move so slow, and they always love to come in at night. But that's what surprised me. This one, the forward speed was like, boom, it got up and got out of here. It just was crazy. And hey, Sashi, biggest one hit Southeast Asia was Typhoon Haiyan. It hit the Philippines hard. Yes. Yeah. All right.
No, I unfortunately, when I was in Japan over there, 2002 to 2005, the tsunami came through Malaysia and all that, and that was apocalyptic, man. 100,000 some people died. More than that. When it comes to that water, and like somebody mentioned, you mentioned in the chat, and tornadoes, it's the water, right? That wind, as long as it stays under like 100, I guess, I don't know. Most buildings will be okay. But when you get slammed with the water and the surf, and then it softens everything up and all that kind of stuff. And if there's you can't stop that water, man. You're not going to stop it. It's going to take out anything it can, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And then all bets are off with tornadoes and stuff like that. But the rising water, storm surge, and storm surge too. I know that. I mean, I saw one video with 15-foot storm surge, what it looks like, and it covered up the camera by the end of it. And that water's moving. You can't fight it. It just. That's one of the biggest warnings that they have is they're serious with people. And I know Pinellas County was having all kinds of water rescues, and some of the counties down south there, people that didn't evacuate, having to go in and rescue them because of the rising water. And,
well, my friend's like, well, just, how you stand out on the beach, right? And it hits you thigh high, and it'll just, that's just one little wave, man. That's just a regular day wave during a normal, nice summer day, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now imagine a 50-foot tsunami wave coming, and what that can do. And it's, it's horrible, really, because I remember that and Katrina at the same time.
Now the tsunamis. See, we don't have them over here, but I know they're more of an Asian thing. But they're based on they're created by earthquakes, right? The earthquakes.
The earthquakes create that. I'm not a scientist or anything, but from paying attention, like you said, the earthquakes will create that up into the ocean, and it creates that wave. And once it gets going, it just keeps going.
It sucks all the water out, but then when it comes back in, I know the Fukushima in Japan a few years ago, that whole thing with the nuclear reactor,
and that was
earthquake and
that was nothing compared to the one that wiped out Malaysia and stuff like that. So
wow, it's really tragic. I've seen some of the videos, some of those things, and
I can't watch those. No, I can't watch those, man. Those are just too much. You know what I mean? I don't even really like watching them tornado ones and stuff like that, but you have to. Yeah, I didn't want to look at the damage and everything, but I did, and because I wanted to see, what it did, and that's just kind of a lesson for people who were lucky enough not to be in the way of it. You got to pay attention to what these things can do.
No, yeah, and back to, like I said, like with North Carolina, they've really got a bad situation. I mean, I-40 is a big major road if you're going up to Pigeon Forge, Knoxville. There is an alternate route, but you got to take like 26 to 81, which takes another 50 miles to your ride up the mountains. But I mean, how do you fix that kind of damage? I mean, we went up there years ago. We always see this, watch out for sliding rocks and all this stuff. We see all those signs, but I mean, if the roads are either washed out or the under, probably even worse, the mountain under the roads are been weakened, weakening the road. How do you fix that stuff? And how long would that take to fix?
Some of it's unfixable. I think the only way to fix it is to clear it out and start over with building it and cross your fingers that it doesn't happen again. I would say some of it's unfixable. I see parts of Florida where they just have like old stuff piled up from storms that people have just bulldozed. I was watching this funny video, and then some area down in South Florida, and there's just all this stuff piled up. I was like, it looks like a storm hit there.
No.
And it's pretty obvious to me. It's just been sitting there for years, just a big pile of stuff, way out back at some back end of a golf course. You know what I mean? That nobody goes there. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just bulldoze it, and I don't know. You can rebuild stuff, but how's your house going to be with all that mud? I'm glad you brought it up. The sand I found interesting, right? That did you see all that sand that was blown inland? It's just the roads are covered with 2 inches of sand.
Yeah, with the storm surge. Yeah, exactly. So exactly, because it's not just the water; it moves the beach with it too.
Yeah, it moved the whole. Anything that didn't get knocked over, the sand just. So you got the mud, you got the water, you got the sand, and I don't know how you rebuild anything that didn't have anything but cosmetic, like a roof. You can replace the roof, right? But if you get, I just don't know what people do. I really don't. If you got 5 feet of mud and water and sand in your house, then what happens to the wood and all the foundation and stuff like that? I just don't. I don't have any answers for stuff like that.
Well, I can tell you, I'm appreciative. We got 12 people watching us here on YouTube tonight. Yay!
Oh, wow. Thank you.
14 a second ago. Make sure y'all smash that like button, sub if you haven't. But yeah, it's a really cool time. We really didn't have a topic. Hungry's not with us tonight. We expected him, but I'm sure he got held up somehow. So we apologize for the bad name title, but it was a plan. It was an attempt to plan, but you get Dave.
You get the backups. And speaking of backups, they finally are going to replace the Florida State guy.
they finally do what?
I was trying to segue out of the doom stream we're doing into when they said backups. I don't talk a lot of football, but I find it hard to believe that Florida State hadn't. Was it 4 games now or 5?
1 and 4.
4?
1 and 4. Yes.
That second, third game. I don't know. What do you do there, Coach?
Apparently they're going to bench their starting quarterback, who they paid a buttload of money under the new NIL to come to Tallahassee. But
that's the chance you take. But I don't think I would have waited 4 games, do you?
Well, you paid enough money for them. You're going to try to get your investment back.
Well, see, maybe that's the problem with this going on with all the money. Whether the debate whether they earn it or not is a different type of debate. But
I'm going to talk about
fall into those. Yeah. Fall into those issues later on, 2 years, 3 years later, you start to see how things work out, right?
Well, see, JT and I talked about this last night. Quarterback at UNLV that was 3-0, team was 3-0. He said the school was reneging on his $100,000 he was supposed to get, so he promptly quit the team.
I'm out.
He walked off because and of course they said, they never promised it, blah, blah, that's why you get in writing. But, recruiting's always been a dirty job and not ethical. But that's why I tell you, folks, there's a lot in sports that beyond the game and stuff that's very dramatic, very, the business dealings. This whole football is not what college football is now, like a lower league of the NFL now. It truly is now because these players are moving all the time. They're changing rosters. It's just you can't keep up with it. And it's one of the things that to me really was. So I think he's really. Sorry, I got distracted. I lost my train. Let me.
That's okay. I like what Sashi said there. If you want to revert back real quick, that's a really good comment.
Because I wanted to kick on that. The capital city has an underground highway, converts into stormwater management system in emergencies. I'm fascinated because if it's built underground, wouldn't the water run down? Or I guess you run it maybe back to the ocean somehow. You got to keep it contained, but that's interesting. So
I guess it's a volume, Sashi. Is it just so massive that it's you're talking billions of gallons of water that's under and not on top of the ground? I guess.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I can only see it as a volume issue.
Yeah.
Under emergencies only, right? Because now your underground highway shut down, but who cares at that point?
No.
You're not going to be. Oh, did you see? Oh my God, I almost forgot. Did you see that news reporter save the lady live on air?
No, I didn't. But Buddy said
down in Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Buddy said that the UNLV quarterback lost him when he said an assistant coach promised it to him. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly that.
right.
So
Yeah,
Tokyo has
here we
that,
go.
requires generators. Yeah,
Tokyo,
yeah, but I know I didn't see that. But I tell you, we had an interesting thing during Hurricane Irma. We actually had a news crew that was out right in the front of our neighborhood. Up at the front of the neighborhood, it dips down way low, and there's a nursery there. Well, it's right on the St. Johns River. So what happened was we got all that storm surge. All that was well underwater. Never has happened before, never has happened again since, but it all happened. Well, some people were out at like 4:00 in the morning, got their car stuck there underwater. So the girl was on top of the car.
Oh wow.
Her dude that was taking her out for the night got his own butt back to dry land. The news crew's sitting there like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, aren't you going to get your girlfriend and all?" And the guy's like, "Not." And so the camera guy goes out there, gets the girl off the car, brings her back. And then they're trying to interview him like, "Hey, what are y'all doing out at 4:00 in the morning?" And of course, they didn't want to answer that. So now here we go. Now we go here. Folks, I did not lie. I did not do tactics that other unethical people do on YouTube, Twitch, in social media. I will not and do not practice that shit. And I do say shit. Here he is, the guy. Captain Dave has been a great and admirable stand-in, but now the star of the show, the court jester of the channel, hungry.
Hello, and I'm only a star of the show when the power comes back on. I did warn you about that earlier today.
I know you did. That's what I told everybody else because somebody got a little
irritated
because you were not here. And
I apologize to anyone who was upset, especially if it was Emily. But look, I mean, the guys came around. They knocked on the door. I mean, wow, hours ago, 8 a.m. my time, about 8:49 a.m. my time, to be fair. And they said, "Look, there may be some problems, but as you know, oh God, oh no." Sorry, I thought that was equipment starting up again. It's just the redneck mobile from one of the neighbors. It's okay.
Well, let's say real quick before we do, Admiral Teague, hell, Admiral on deck.
Hey, Admiral.
Even yelling for you.
Hey, buds. Hello, buddy.
Hello.
Oh, by the way, that is not a fire in my house, my mom's house. I burned broccoli earlier. I left it cooking too long.
Broccoli?
How do you?
Well, when you run out of water, I did something I shouldn't have done. Walked down the thing and left it too long, and now I've got burnt.
Oh.
At least
I was worried for a second you had a grease fire, man.
No. Yeah, I hate that. So, we love you too, Teague. Good to see you too. All right. Well, now let's see. Sashi said, "Yep." Let's see. Let's bring it up here now. Yep. Let's see. It was one of the biggest underground projects for its time. It funnels all the water to a large containment area. We're using those large tunnel boring machines. Oh, wow.
That sounds like my neighbor's vehicle right now.
Vehicle, by the way, but it's okay.
I know. You have to remember, I mean, Dave understands, but Dadman, you have to remember, I live in the land that created Mad Max. Okay, we got some big engines here.
God, you said something other than the land of the combat wombat.
I need a little variety today.
Well, that's a funny private chat you did there because I had watched Mars Attack the other day. Again,
Yeah,
that brings up something that Buddy had mentioned when Dadman and I were talking about War of the Worlds, and Buddy mentioned this really great album that was put out in the 70s, which is the musical version of War of the Worlds. And damn it, Buddy, I tracked it down because you mentioned that, and I got the digital version off the wonderful free but legal site that happens to be an archive, if you know what I mean. And I've got two of the songs stuck in my head ever since, buddy. They just won't go away.
Well,
you guys vamp a second. I gotta call the missus. Mrs.
Okay.
Get ready.
yeah. Well, did anybody see that limited British TV series? I'm pulling it up.
The one with Gabriel Byrne?
Robert Carlyle.
Oh, that one.
No, not this last. There's not this. Wasn't there another one that came on?
Yes.
I didn't see that one. This recent one. I did not see this 2021, 22 somewhere. I didn't see that one at all. I'm talking a little bit before that. What year was it? 2019. I liked it. It was Robert Carlyle, Rupert Graves, and a couple of, that
was the one that was actually set in the late 1800s, right?
Yeah, it was a period piece.
Yes.
I liked it, and they said, I don't know if it was cut off, and then I just didn't. It was only 3 episodes, but since we were talking about,
I'll tell you what cut it off. You know what I mean? Code. I have a cough. It might kill me.
The BBC. Yeah. But it was an interesting premise, and I liked it for a while. Well, yeah, it was only 3 episodes.
I know it should have been longer. They should have had a chance. Look, there's so many great things that actually got ruined by that circumstance. We don't list by name, direct name, but the other one that was a British French production, don't watch it, man. I watched the entire first season and some of the second. And I'll tell you what,
was that a Netflix one, Hungry or something, or I don't know what it was.
No, that was like a BBC. I think it was a BBC Canal 4 co-production, but they just had to add nasty things to it. I'll tell you,
of course.
I don't mind the French, but they gotta nasty things up all the time.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now.
It's just, I admire the horror movies from back in the late 60s throughout the 70s and early 80s, etc. But
yeah,
there's some things that do not belong in War of the Worlds.
Yeah, 2019 already, but it went for 3 seasons. Wow. Yeah, I haven't seen any of it. It was an Epix film series or so.
Well, there have been some other ones too, dude. I mean, I was watching one that IMDb just roasted, just absolutely.
Really? Those people roasted something? I mean, anything high end, anything low end, they'll be more than happy to roast it. Right?
Oh, this is low end, dude. This is a current version by the Asylum, and you know what I mean by the Asylum.
Oh God, dude, or Corked Unlimited. You know the Asylum. As soon as that comes on, I've already dropped my preparedness to a different level. Do people in the chat understand? Well, explain to them what we're talking about. Corked Unlimited, and I'm sure they all know.
I have seen more than a couple of uncorked films, right? And so there's this really cheap production company that oftentimes creates things and sells it to the Asylum. And the Asylum used to be just a production company that did all the mockbusters. Okay. And the Asylum is going back for more than 20 years now. And they do this stuff that gets put way too cheaply and was way too much.
You didn't say it. You didn't pronounce way too cheaply.
Well, thank you, Admiralty. Yes, you guys. Thank y'all for carrying up for a second because there was something.
Just go on to Tubi real quick. Just go on to Tubi, everybody, and you'll find them. You'll go into the horror section.
That's like half a Tubi right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to get on a rampage about some dress stuff. Admiralty's got me something in here to work with, but hey, I did want to say, in honor of Hungry, since you were not be able to make it with us Friday night. On Friday, Mrs. does her days of the year, all the celebrations and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Friday, September 27th was Hungry's favorite day of the year. Save the Koala Bear Day. Yes.
They can
Nice.
save
Koalas,
themselves.
one of Australia's most beloved animals, are facing a threat to their survival due to the
I know.
habitat loss, brush fires, and disease.
The brush fires.
Oh, lovable, and distinct. The koala is vulnerable and at risk.
Have you heard the sound they make when they are distressed, though?
No, I haven't.
You may not love them as much after you hear what the sound they make if you pick them up when they don't want to be picked up.
Yeah, they don't sound
they
very
make-
pleasant from what you said before.
It's listed as terrifying online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Let me see if I can imitate it here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to lean back from the microphone. You might want to cover your ears. That's kind of what they sound.
Okay, I guess we can clip that, you know. We might have just gotten banned permanently with that kind of sound. Folks, this truly was a real broadcast. It wasn't a...
I'm not exaggerating. The sound is that awful. It really
Dude,
is.
It's
There's a
something
reason
that
why
has a
these
bad
animals
porno
are
movie.
silent, Dad, man.
Yeah, well,
It's horrible, Dad, man. I just listened to a quick clip of
You can back me up, right,
Wow.
Dave?
Well, I knew they made weird sounds. I don't know how long it's been, but that I don't remember it sounding like that. That is ridiculous. How do you
screaming
even,
goats.
how
That
about
was right.
a monster sea walrus sea
Oh, and they had-
lion with the coo who went out drinking all night long?
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah.
But hungry, right here. I've heard that before. They carry a lot of STDs, don't they? The koalas.
Don't answer
Well,
that.
all I knew about was the chlamydia. That's the only one that I knew about.
Okay.
And luckily, well, for men, luckily, chlamydia is referred to as the silent STD, right? Because men, we won't know any symptoms except for the fact that it can make us infertile. It can make us.
Okay.
We're not going to have if you have untreated chlamydia for too long. Your swimmers are not going to finish the race, if you know what I mean.
It makes you a
Gotcha.
little loopy too, doesn't it?
Well,
than normal?
it can, but that's mainly
I'm
syphilis.
thinking of rabies.
Syphilis will
Syphilis,
actually
yeah.
drive you insane.
That's what I
Are you
was
talking
thinking
about
of
the
syphilis, yeah.
triathlete swimmer in the Seine River in France during the Olympics when they get hit by floating
Oh
feces?
no! Oh no,
No.
Dadman!
Yeah.
No! That horrible story! No!
Uh,
That
well-
poor woman! No!
There were Olympics.
No!
The only
Yeah,
Olympics I watched was the
Dave,
break
that river
dancing.
was that water was so nasty they couldn't get it clean before it. Yes, but yes, two things that makes Hungry proud: the national anthem by Men at Work, Down Under, and that lady that did breakdancing on behalf of Australia.
Oh,
Aren't you proud, Hungry?
You know, I know you're trying to rile me up a little bit here, and it's working because I mean, we honestly, Australia. I was a teenager in Australia in '82 and '83. Okay,
Mhm.
breakdancing here was bloody huge. We had people in the schools doing it. We had people getting on television doing it, and we were very, very, very good. And I guess a few decades are going to take their toll because apparently we're not good anymore.
Well, if that was the best, I could have, like got a piece of cardboard and got out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Got on the national team. I thought it was funny at first. I told you I made a big video about it, and then it got clipped from the Olympics, right?
Yeah,
and I just didn't feel like going in because it ruined all the funny part that I was showing it. Because being my age when breakdancing first came out, we got the cardboard out there and we were trying, spraying the elbow, and then my mom was like, hey, getting on me. My grandparents, stop doing it. You're going to break your neck and all that kind of stuff. And there were a lot of kids going into the emergency room, man, with broken wrists, a lot of them broken wrists, shoulders, neck injuries, and stuff like that. But you go back and look at some of those guys, and there's guys now that are phenomenal, in some girls. But, the guys back then, I had that video, were unbelievable with what they were doing.
Hey,
well, it's funny you mentioned the wrist thing because you remember that move where you put your your elbow like right against your ribs, and then your hand is down, and you're using it.
And you shake it all about. You do the
No,
hokey pokey.
you're spinning your body, and you're actually putting your
That's
arm
what
down,
it's
your
all
forearm
about.
down, and your body is horizontal against the ground, and you're going around like a pinwheel.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, if you got a weak wrist and you're a little bit overweight, that maybe not the best move to try.
Well,
they
Admiral
were in
Teague
shape.
says, hungry. Admiral Teague says you're an Aussie blue blood, descended from Botany Bay prisoners on both sides. Oh, Teague.
Oh wow.
Well, you know, he's partially correct. I do have one convict ancestor, but she was wrongfully accused. That's what we said.
Yeah, always. Well, listen, to finish about the koalas, save the koalas day. This Friday, and I've been holding that all weekend just for you. Koalas are big eaters. They can eat up to 1 kilogram a day of eucalyptus on a low energy diet. They only choose from.
That's because they're idiots. They're idiots. They're eating. They choose a bloody leaf, and you know they don't eat every eucalyptus.
Exactly. This says they'll only choose from about 50 of 700 different species of eucalyptus.
Right. 50 out of 700.
Well, you know what? I need to show this to Bucky and any other mom that worries about the kids getting picky eaters. You can have a koala bear. Hey, so.
That's less than 5% of the available leaves. I mean, if you're going to adapt to a stupid diet, Dave, wouldn't they at least choose like 200 species?
You would think. 700? You would think, man. I mean, come on. With all those different ones you've got there, you're only going to stick to. But hey, they have an acquired taste, right?
Yeah.
And then they keep living in the fire corridor, man.
Yeah, I've seen some horrible videos of the fires down there, man. Oof, they can get bad.
Yeah.
And,
I got evacuated before I met all of you, just about a year before I met all of you. We got evacuated. The skies were bright orange. I mean, pumpkin orange.
Yep.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, we had a year about that, like 98 in Florida with the fires everywhere. To finish up, koalas are sleepy little guys, and they are to make hungry marsupials.
Yes.
So I know that's a big thing with you.
Now, does the article you're looking at mention the fact that they will claw the living crap out of you, and those claws are really damn sharp?
Yeah, take care, Sashi. Thanks for hanging out with us. No, this one doesn't.
Sashi.
Yeah, he's working.
They have claws on all 4 feet. All 4 feet. And they're designed to climb up on thin bark. So it's not like rough bark, okay? It's thin bark, and oftentimes it's papery. So the claws have to be really pointy and really sharp. That's the only time they move fast, when you're trying to be nice to them and save their lives and get them out of the way of a moving car. And then they'll move fast and claw the crap out of you as you're trying to save their lives.
Yes, exactly. Eagle Rider calling us nerds.
Yeah,
hey, all right.
How are you?
I like it
How
a
are you
lot.
tonight? Yeah. So anyway, I figured you get a kick out of that. So
I do get a kick out of that, and honestly, I am joking, but I do love the little buggers, and I want them to be okay. And it's not my fault they got a shit diet and a very crap bodily energy distribution system. That's just that's up to Mother Nature. That's her issue, not mine.
Yeah. Oh man, it was hot mulled cider. Oh wow. I did not know what was on. Mrs. isn't able to do all of these days of the year. There's some interesting days of the year, but there's one that she did cover today. Thunderbirds. September 30th was International Thunderbirds Day.
Nice.
Oh, you mean like a TV show, the Jerry Anderson show? Oh, yes. Oh, I love that program.
I love Captain Scarlet.
Oh, no, I love that too. You know what, Dadman would like that show, Dave. Talk about Captain Scarlet for a bit. Love it.
Well, I mean, that, and you've seen these shows before, right? Thunderbirds, Captain Mysterion, Jerry Anderson.
I'm telling you, the only marionettes that I know of the only marionettes that I know of that I've learned everything from is Team America World Police.
Where do you think they got those marionettes from? Where do you think they got the
I
ideas?
know, but they did a lot of different things with them. So,
well, Captain Scarlet. Let him know, Dave. Let him know. Captain Scarlet was a scary show, even though there was no human involved in the filming of the program, or at least on camera.
Well, it involved Martians, if I remember correctly, right? Or the Mysterions.
Yes,
Mrs. has the entire series.
It was based on Martians. It was based on Martians, right?
Yeah, and also the only it was like with Thunderbirds. The only time you would see any part of a human is when they had to have a close up of a hand turning a switch or something.
Right, and they would incorporate human movements into the show.
It's so obvious. But the other thing this is something that would fascinate Dadman. And this is something that actually caused some problems for the Andersons. They decided to go ultra realistic with the Captain Scarlet marionettes, and so they looked too human. So that's when they started hitting that uncanny valley thing, where you're like, oh my God, that looks like my Uncle Joe. What the hell's going on here?
Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So the basis is that they have to battle and if I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, they were. The Mysterions were from Mars, and should I do the spoiler alert for Captain Scarlet? But
do it.
He can't.
God.
He can't die. He can't be killed.
Listen, I'm gonna pitch my wife's show tomorrow at 10:00 a.m. in about just less than 10 hours. Make sure you tune over to her show in the morning, because October 1st really looks to have some interesting days of the year. So you might want to be there. And I know she was previewing early. There's a lot of birthdays. So, but hey, make sure you catch her at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I've not had a chance yet, but I will look at it, Eagle Rider. I appreciate you sending that. I saw the title. It really looked cool.
Well,
go ahead.
You know what else you would really like about Captain Scarlet, Dadman? Dave, look, we're doing spoilers now, and you've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing that's fascinating about this is first off, the Mysterians, they're Martians, but they are incorporeal beings, meaning they're blobs of light and energy. Okay. Yeah. But what they do is they kill a human and then they possess the corpse. And so that becomes a major plot issue for a lot of the episodes. And they try to do that part. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, Mrs. I don't want to steal your thunder. Oh, I bet it was. Yeah. Jimmy Carter turns 100 today. Yes. Now that the clock has rolled over.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is. And hell to you, Small Time Republic. I've got a lot to say about your team on Wednesday night, so I hope to see you there. But good to see you tonight, Small Town Republic. Mrs. said, I didn't realize, actually, Monday was also a mulled apple cider day today. I need to share with somebody later. But Monday was National Bubblegum Day, so go enjoy some Camel Balls bubblegum. Yes, because Mrs. and I got be a little smart alecky, and we're like, hey, we might as well do a damn GoFundMe. Since every Tom, Dick, and Harry is coming up with a GoFundMe for whatever reason they want to do. Well, hell, let's do a GoFundMe to get some of the Camel Balls bubble gum. Yeah.
I do admire that joke, Dad, man. You talk about Dick and Harry and you follow up with Camel Balls. That was subtle.
Exactly.
Nice.
Thank you. Smooth. I always stumble into my best work unintentionally. So it's like the missus always tells me, Dad, man, stop trying to be funny. You're funnier when you don't try to be. So,
well, the thing about the stereotypes.
Real quick with this. I had just seen this, and not to steal her thunder with this, on the site that she used, one of her sites that she uses. October is our month hungry.
Yep.
Why do you say yep?
Because of things you told me personally, off air, and I'm not going to repeat them, but you can.
Oh no, never mind. I know not because of that. Then we're not having a baby, and I still smell the broccoli. No, it is it's our mascot's awareness month. It is October is Squirrel Awareness Month.
Oh, I did not know that.
Geez.
Yes, October is Squirrel Awareness Month. So join us Friday night for our squirrel streams. where we will definitely jump tree to tree, nut to nut. So yes, I just saw that though. I figured you'd get a kick out of that.
I do. And you know what? Because you and I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I have seen the film Zombievers. Okay.
Oh my God.
Why? That was a funny movie. Why don't we have giant mutated zombie squirrels? Why have people not done that yet?
No, I don't know. I mean, hey, so why
They've
not
done
get
ticks.
the squirrels can do stuff. We can do it a lot better.
Well, they're more agile than a beaver. I mean, honestly, just create some get like some person who's really pissed off because they worked for Jim Henson for a month and got fired for being a weirdo, and get that person to make giant mutated zombie squirrels. The movie will sell like hotcakes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're
there
moving
were a
into
lot
Halloween
of celebrations
season,
in October too. So hey, but yeah,
Halloween season.
Yes, exactly. Oh, look, Mrs. said I'd love to give Camel Balls bubble gum out for Halloween, but it's $33 for 200 pieces of gum. So
wow.
Help me give Candy the little monsters knock on our door. LOL. Exactly.
Little monsters.
Oh, Daisy Blossom. I got to get their friend Daisy Black Cat Awareness Month for October.
Oh, yes. Yes, the ebony kitties. Kitties.
Exactly. And it is Pizza Month.
Oh, well,
that's Pizza Month. So,
but for some of us, David, yeah, you beat me to the joke.
Sorry.
All right.
No, that's good.
Yes.
I love the fact that a guy as like physically fit as you is just like, I'm not giving up the pizza. Forget it.
Yeah. I only eat it for 1 month. Right? Okay.
Oh God! Can you imagine the challenges of the Jerry Anderson team trying to make a marionette eat pizza? That would be a trick.
Oh, that show it's funny too, Dadman. It can somebody put out Stingray's a great one. Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet. There's some other ones, but these are the big ones. Supercar. Yeah, but Captain Scarlet was hilarious. A couple of the scenes in there had me just busting out laughing, man.
They got brutal deaths.
Brutal deaths. Well, you got this marionette, and one guy gets shot, right? And then he's like, "Oh," and it's I can't even. I'm not an actor, but to watch that marionette with the facial, and they changed the facial features. It was hilarious.
I don't think I could ever watch Thunderbirds. I'm sorry, and no disrespect to the series or anything like that, because I'm sorry, I can't. Having watched Team America, I don't think I could ever look at puppetry seriously again. That was so. They did things with puppets that I didn't know were possible.
Yeah, did you see the uncut director's
I
version
didn't see that cut. Oh my gosh!
You have or have not?
I have not. I have not. And take care, Plane Down Under.
Okay.
Good to see
you. You're going to backtrack on what you just said, because if you haven't seen the uncut one,
there's more.
I can't even describe it on here. Right? Hungry? Have you? Apparently, you've seen it. Yeah, Dadman. Listen, just believe me. When you see the uncut one, you're gonna come back on a different stream and say, "What did I? Oh my God!"
Oh, I've not seen it though, Mrs. Or did I forget it that?
Are you sure it's the uncut, Mrs. Dadman?
She probably is, but I don't think I watched it at home. I think I watched it only in the theater. Well,
it was not the one you saw in the theater. I can promise you that. Yeah. Well, I don't. No, I wouldn't say so. Right, Hungry? Not the theater version.
Let me say, you know how lax Australia is in regards to censorship, which I explained. Like, we'll cut out violence, but we won't cut out boobies and naughty jokes, and we'll show them on network television at 9 o'clock at night. Right, 9 o'clock. You will actually see nipples on Australian television. I don't even mean public television. I mean the equivalent of CBS. Right? They do not show the uncut version of Team America until after 1 a.m. here.
Well, it's understandable. Okay, so that man,
I actually remember that night, Mrs., but I did not realize that was the version. I didn't.
Okay,
realize,
well, it's the sex scene that it goes way.
Well, I thought the one on the movie, the theatrical version was way. But I'll have to get back and watch that other one then, Mrs. If we have
the puking scene in the alley is hilarious. He just keeps going.
It went on way too long, man. Way too long.
Which is the joke.
I know. And I mean, how much fake vomit did they have to create for that? It must have been
like
gallons.
5-6 cans of pea soup.
And it was actually the force of it. It was honestly like, it was like a fire hose of vomit. That's, because it's, when it hits the ground and it's like spattering in every direction.
Yeah. So imagine that, man, guys, that you're like some kind of engineer or something. They probably didn't even hire anybody. Somebody's talented enough to make a machine to do that, but you get paid to do that, and they come to you and we want you to make this, and you're like, make what? We want you to make a vomit machine that it just goes on for 20 minutes.
That is crazy. That is crazy. But I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and watch it because I did not realize. I remember that night when that happened, but I didn't realize it was the unrated one. But
I'll send you a private chat. I'm double checking that it's private chat, and I'll type this in.
Yeah. Well, I that's too funny. Well, like I said, that movie spoiled me from ever looking at marionettes seriously. Of course, when you got Matt Damon.
This is the thing with you, Dad, man. See, a lot of times, you are seeing things at the end of a cycle versus the beginning of a cycle. And Team America was created by guys who had actually grown up with Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet, and they were anticipating other people had seen that as well. Whereas if your first experience to super marionation is what the process is referred to, super marionation.
Yeah.
If your first experience is Team America, then no, you're not going to be able to enjoy Captain Scarlet.
No, it's just like, that picture gets stuck in your head, and you're like, you just can't shake it. So
you're going to have those scenes, and you know what else? Dave, you're going to laugh at this. He's going to hear in his head, darka, 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 darka.
Buddy Hepburn's even seen Joe 90. Wow, was it good?
Oh yeah, Joe 90's good.
Was it good? I'm typing now.
That's not Joe Dirt, is it? So
no, it's another of the Jerry Anderson shows.
All right. Well, hey, but Jerry Anderson, I think that's
also, yeah, man. Bear in mind, the Andersons also did UFO, which is one of God rest his soul, Clobby's favorite shows on sci-fi shows on the planet. All live action, no puppets, and also very, very sexy. A lot of women wearing a lot of tight clothes and oftentimes very skimpy clothes on UFO. And also did Space 1999. That was
we gotta watch Space 1999.
That's good.
I'd like to get into that one, but it's just getting the time right now. But Buddy Hepburn, his dad has all the Jerry Anderson shows on DVD, Blu-ray, and hello to Brogu.
That's awesome.
Hello, Brogu.
Hello,
exactly.
So, and your dad is a man of quality, buddy. A man of
class,
quality.
right there.
Well, speaking of quality, I'm going to go back on a rampage. Thanks to Admiral Teague.
Let's do it.
He wants to talk about poorly grown men, millionaires no less, dress on NFL pregame shows. He saw Bill Cowher in a checkered shirt and a striped tie. Someone explain to me how that's okay. I don't really give a crap about the damn studio announcers. They're all stupid anyway. And my wife and Bucky can out-talk them on sports any day and be a hell of a lot more smarter than those guys. But what pisses me off are these damn coaches in basketball not wearing a friggin' suit and tie. Damn old school. You wear a friggin' tie. You don't want a lawyer in shorts, do you? Going to court? No. I want a basketball coach with a coat and tie on, not these Nike pull-up shirts, sweatshirts, and all this other crap. Hungry's like, what the hell are you talking about? Dave might get me a little bit, but the new fashion, historically, basketball coaches wore a suit on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just like wearing glorified T-shirts and stuff. So you're talking about looking stupid? Like
the old Georgetown coach used to wear suits.
Exactly, John Thompson.
John Thompson.
All players used to do that. So it just, all coaches used to do that, and it was like there was the etiquette. But now, even Mike Krzyzewski, before he retired, started doing this thing with this like sweatshirt thing or whatever, long sleeves and the Nike logo and the school's logo on it instead of a suit. I don't know. It's just a big thing for me. It just, and analysts are mandated to give it exactly. I agree, Teague. But it was like, it just was a common cool thing. They look better. They look more professional. I do remember that day too, Brogu. Tom Landry was probably one of the last that wore a suit, I believe. I think Bear Bryant had got ditched a tie near the end, but the last coach that I ever remember wearing, a football coach, wearing a suit, was Tom Landry, I thought. Because I know Chuck Noll didn't, Bear Coward didn't, Bill Walsh didn't. I think Tom Landry was the last one pro. So, but hey, I do. Could you imagine standing out in the heat? Oh, what's even better, Hungry? What we have, I wish I was home and I could bring up pictures, but in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, do you know how people went dressed to football games even when it was 100 degrees out?
Oh, don't tell me they wore a wool blazer.
They would wear shirts with ties. Men would. Women would wear dresses. The fashion nowadays, everybody's like wearing next to nothing, hot as an oven, Love Shack, baby. Sorry.
Love Shack.
I love the B-52s. That song, kind of. I hear you, but let's remember because he was popular here in Australia too. The great Howard Cosell. You never saw that man underdressed, ever.
Nope.
And his interactions with Muhammad Ali are classic.
Oh, that's how I learned about him, because see, they were funny. And even though Australia didn't really sort of get the American televised sports thing, we loved Howard Cosell. We were just busting up laughing.
Because he would fight the Joeys for you and win that war with the emu. And take no prisoners on the cassowaries.
It was Cassowary Day the other day, wasn't it, Hungry?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yes, it was.
I celebrated that with Hungry the other day. So all full of good stuff.
Animal. That's a tough animal. But that animal was more of a Mike Tyson than a Muhammad Ali, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that thing.
Could still be good barbecue. But anyway, hey.
that shack meat.
I don't know if I want.
That's a Red Letter Media joke.
Throw another cassowary on the Barbie. Everybody else. Now we'll get hungry with the Barbies. Forget the prawns and shrimp crap. It's
they're eating the iguanas. They're eating the iguanas down here.
Oh, bro, I really hope you're being sarcastic with that question.
No. Oh, question or what I said? Sorry.
No. What you said. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I'm not sure, bro, just messing with me or not. It's hard to tell without hearing the tone of voice. But
I know. Hey,
but yeah, the sports announcing. Hey, Finity. Hey,
all rise. The chief judge has entered the courtroom.
By the way,
you won't your soul because he will not have any on yours.
You won't get this joke, but I actually get the inside joke of the name that Finity is using now, because he's gone through a couple of names like I have.
Well, you know what?
It's actually a comic book joke. It's a British comic book joke.
But you know what? I think
there were judges in Judge Dredd, but there were chief judges as well. And you did not mess with the chief judge.
Those were the ones on the council that actually had to sentence them out to the. Yeah, okay, I got you. But you know what? That's kind of like his own intro here. All rise. Court is now in session. Chief Judge Finity presiding. May God have mercy on your soul, because he will not have any on yours. So.
Oh, and the chief judges in the parliamentary system.
I'm saying, Hungry. I think I've defaulted in a channel intro for Judge Finity when he shows up. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
Don't leave that. Okay.
Look, you can do anything you want as long as you promise never to do that Cosell impersonation again.
Oh, I thought that was decent, Cosell. You know, would you like to hear me Irish?
Oh no,
No, absolutely not.
Will
I'd
you
rather
get
be
Cosell or Irish?
I'd rather be possessed by the Mysterians.
15 years in the ISO cubes. There you go.
Yes,
Oh.
right on.
No, they're going.
And with Taco Bell served.
We'll put you in the swamp cage on Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
What's it? Air Prime or whatever on Rathacon, that ice planet. Rado, forgot the name of the movie, the planet already. But yeah, get a good ice planet. Of course, with some chameleon lizard people, and
I think I'd rather fight in the Thunderdome with a Gorgon and an alien at the same time.
Oh, no! I will do my impersonations. Oh, I won't. Yeah, the bastards.
No, but that one is 10 out of 10. That one is 10 out of 10. I'm not kidding.
I know. I'm Principal McDicker. Yeah, exactly.
That's one of your better ones.
No, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah, you have about between 3 and 5 real good impressions. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Also, your butt head, not necessarily Beavis, your butt head is also quite good.
Anyway, but Captain, I'm giving it all she's got.
Oh, that's not one of them. That's not one of them.
You asked, so I performed. Yeah.
I think Brogues is in a bit of a mood tonight. He's setting us up to fail, but that's
we haven't had a stream like this where it's Dadman impersonations night.
Oh, okay.
Well, we just do a stream where y'all are hanging out, listening, and judging my impersonations of things.
We won't judge. We will adjudicate.
I could go back to do my Venom. I can do my Venom.
Exactly.
Yes. But Dave, can you do Bane from the third Batman film?
But I try, but it sounds like Venom. I will break you. Oh, I can't. I have to think about it. It goes back to Venom. Yeah.
I was born in the darkness.
I will snap you in half like a twig.
That was a vengeance.
You will judge and you will be found wanting. Dadman.
Yeah, I got you. Oh man, what would we do with somebody great like that? But hey, you guys, that's too funny. But yeah, that'd be a cool idea for a show.
Not the fish.
Yeah, maybe on Friday night we could do some of that. We could maybe Mrs. could put a number of impersonation characters out there and see what I can do with it. Maybe French accents. Can you remember French accents were getting people all laughing to the point where I had to be quiet. They threatened to leave the channel because they couldn't.
The missus was not laughing. The missus said, "Dadman, don't ever do that again." Is
that what that will say? Is that what that says?
Oh boy.
I thought I did okay with Cosell, though. I thought I did okay.
No, you Cosell did not have any nasality in his voice, and you allowed the voice to go a little bit into your sinuses there, a little bit into the adenoids.
My friend, oh god, that was even close either.
See, now you're thinking about it. If you think about it, you'll mess up.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Thank you. Just like you're Lisa now playing that damn We're in the USA game, out thinking me now I can't do it right. Monday Night Football.
No, see again, you're doing the Cosell didn't have any of the sound in it.
Monday Night Football. It's coming down to the wire. With the Cowboys sucking big end. That still doesn't like it better. But anyway,
well, I can show my age.
Said Bane, I like what Bane said of the little boy singing. He really does have a wonderful voice.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, how old are you?
Well, Do you remember the opening video intro to the Wide World of Sports? With
Oh,
the guy
yeah.
crash landing on the
Ski jump.
slalom ski jump.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Oh, Pepperidge Farm. Oh, the Pepperidge Farm double fudge chocolate cake.
Dun, 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 dun.
Pepperidge Farm also made cookies, didn't they?
They still do.
Oh, good.
They make great Milanos. Milano cookies are good. A cookie.
Yeah, that's a good cookie monster right there.
Cookie.
Oh, that was good too, Dadman.
Cookie.
Oh, hey, Dave,
cookie.
I bet you Dadman could do a decent animal from the Muppets.
Animal. No, I can't.
I was wrong.
No, I know. Yeah.
I was wrong.
Oh, he's great on those insurance commercials. We've got an animal in the attic.
That one. That's better. That's better. Yes.
That's for Beaker. I like Beaker.
Beaker was great.
I used to be able to do the church lady.
Oh.
I used to. I nowhere it was not too bad, but it's been so long since I've done it, and I don't know. I had to practice it, see, because you really have to start discriminating in here and dear friends, what could be so special about this holiday season coming up? What the letters of the word mean? Satan?
Yeah. Isn't that special?
Isn't that special? Yeah, I love that. God, some of the great. I look at Saturday Night Live as having two golden eras. I mean, of course, the early ones could never be topped. But there was that time, was it the late 80s into the mid 90s, when you had Phil Hartman, Victoria Jackson. You had a group of them right then. It's like they were great. They fell off. They got really good and great again with like Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, bunch of those guys in there. And then since then, it's been like back to the prison farms or Australia, Don't
forget Michael Myers. He actually was on SNL.
Yeah, exactly. So, thank you, Brogu.
I mean, that's where we got the two boys hanging out on local access television, Wayne's World.
Yes,
that actually began on SNL.
That'd be you and Dave. Yeah.
You bitch.
Nice.
Well, it would be me and Dave, certainly, if Dave and I talk about the War of the Worlds comic by Marvel Comic Books, which was a great comic book.
Saturday Night Live always had politics in it, and I will say they always had politics in it, and they were even really brutal. Jerry to Gerald Ford. Why they ever had Chevy Chase playing Gerald Ford, I don't know, but he was always falling down because of an incident Ford had. But it's like nowadays, it's not fun anymore because it's so serious and things. Although I will say one of the best skits that they had that I thought was back after the 2016 election, when everybody was surprised about who that Orange Man won that year. And when they had the yuppie liberals in New York, and it's like watching the countdown. Oh yeah, we're going. Oh, it's Kentucky. That was expected and all that. And then I need a Xanax, and it's just
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, I'll have to find and show you the link because it's really funny how that night went. You can imagine many apartments in New York were just like that. And of course, you had Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock in that episode. So it was hilarious. So yeah. So Eddie Murphy was good there too.
Have you seen?
I remember Belushi.
Oh yeah, Belushi. But Dave, you might remember this. Dadman, have you seen the SNL skits that are making fun of Family Feud, the TV game?
Oh God, yeah, with Sean Connery.
Yes.
No. You're talking about Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Right? Who?
Jeopardy.
Well, Jeopardy.
Oh, Jeopardy.
Yeah, because it's got the Burt Reynolds character, and he comes up with all those damn names. But
they've also done Family Feud. They have done Family Feud as well.
Did they spoof Richard Dawson though?
No, they basically created a new host for that.
Okay,
a new host for that, and it's very amusing and a little bit ribald. So
Well,
the
I'm gonna
Jeopardy
tell you-
ones were hilarious.
Well,
You want to
Absolutely
see? You want to see a beaker picture? I think I've shown this before. Can you share?
yeah, put up on
I'm going
the
to show
screen. Share your
just
screen.
two quick ones. This is
Show
the
your
first
screen,
one.
and I'll bring it up.
That's the first one. That's Beaker, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Beaker.
Okay.
Who was the assistant to Dr. Honeydew?
Yeah, and then now this guy who got arrested. Here you go.
Oh, oh no! You are too correct.
Are you kidding me?
That's got to be Photoshop.
No,
You gotta,
that's a real picture, dude.
if you're with us Friday night, Dave, you got to bring that back. Oh my God, that's. It's like his face was like.
I'm glad I
molded.
was not full screen when Dave showed that. Man, that would have been too much.
That was scary.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I have a lot of gingers in my family, but that's making me agree with Cartman on South Park. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
When you
Oh,
not
my
agree
God.
with Cartman?
I mean, that guy, that was just backing Eric Cartman all the way up, because what you just showed, Dave, that creature has no soul.
No, not well. Definitely after it got taken away after that meme came out.
Sorry, buddy. I'm actually very pro ginger. I'm very pro
Oh, I
ginger.
love the gingers.
Oh, have you ever dated one? Oh
Hey, I married one.
Yeah. Okay. One of you guys do the Kool-Aid man? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Dude, you should see the picture. I found another picture before we got married. When we were dating. I mean, oh man, you should have seen the missus' long, curly, flowing red hair. That was the other thing that got me that night. It was like,
Oh,
man,
hubba.
yeah, nice red hair. You know, it's like, of course, the kids took the curls away, so you know.
Oh yeah.
But it was good. But hey, it was definitely a fun thing. You know, it was definitely cool, especially when she had the Chevrolet Cavalier convertible, which was weird that it would be a convertible, but hey, it's what it was. And hey, Tim, good to see you. I agree. I like Mary Ann's. I prefer Mary Ann. Well, see, and it's not that because of the redheadness specifically, like in that case, but I like the nice country look, not the superstar model makeup-y look. So hey,
Hey Dave, we won't explain to Dadman, but we liked Mary Ann for other reasons, didn't we?
Yeah, I like Mary Ann.
The shorts,
ginger.
dude. Did you see the episode of Gilligan's Island with the shorts? Oh,
those Daisy Dukes. Well, for them, Daisy Dukes.
And they wouldn't allow her to show the navel. You know that was actually
no.
That was such stupid television production code bullpucky.
And didn't Ginger always have like a one piece? I can't remember if she ever wore. Did she ever wear a two piece? Anybody out there?
She got to wear a bathing suit in one episode.
But
it was a one piece bathing suit. It wasn't a bikini.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, you can show somebody bending over in Daisy Dukes, but you can't show somebody's belly button. Where's the logic? Yeah,
it's just too hot.
but also, I mean, Mary Ann, and I apologize for forgetting the actress's name. I mean, she had those really big eyes with the dark eyelashes.
Dawn Wells was the actress.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She actually performed here years ago at a local dinner theater. They brought her in yeah, exactly. So.
Oh, you're lucky. I mean, I would have loved to.
Well, I didn't get to watch her, but yeah, I didn't get to go. But yeah, but no, it's funny. It's funny the number of actors that we've seen. We have a dinner theater. It really almost went underground at one point but somebody bought it out, fixed it up. They took out the buffet, but because I loved, forget the place. I went for the buffet and the unlimited chocolate mousse. You know, screw all that. I wanted the nice chocolate mousse, but yeah, it was becoming too run down and blah for what they were. But somebody came in, they did it. They kept the buffet for a little while, but then they went to plated meals like just fewer dining options, and they really classed it up though. But it's really but it's still blossoming. They're getting all kinds of plays and productions in. It's not the same lead actor every performance. I mean, they really seem to have done a job to turn it around. I mean, like everything else, I'm afraid to look at ticket prices these days.
Oh yeah, and Dadman, to back you up, because you know how you and the missus would oftentimes do food oriented stuff together, right? And
why did you clear your throat before food like that? I was not sure where you were going with that.
Because my oven is still not working. That's going to be coming back on in a couple hours.
But the timing of your call, your clearing your throat was really interesting. But okay.
I get that. But there was a reason. Like, even if you weren't into gambling or go-go girls, there was a reason a lot of guys would go to, and some women would go to Las Vegas in the 90s. The buffets and the live shows.
Well, see, we didn't hit any of the buffets out there because we were part of an electronics convention, so all the meals were kind of arranged already.
Oh,
but hey, Mrs. and I, we said, basically we were going and my sister was trying to get everybody sitting together on the plane. That didn't happen. Then she wanted everybody in the hotel in the connecting rooms, and it was all messed up, and they told us you had to go there one day, and then the next day y'all could move and all. And they did end up moving because we were supposed to have a view of staying at the Tropicana, which is no more. We were supposed to have a view of the Las Vegas Strip, which they didn't give us, but my family moved over to and got the view, but we didn't. Mrs. and I said, "Screw you! We're going to our own room." Screw you, our room, because we're like newlyweds. We're not getting into this family chaos stuff. We took the room we had a view of the Strip, the Las Vegas airstrip, but we had a view of the Strip, and Mrs. and I just went hid and everything else and stuff. So Mrs. will be able to. Yes, there. We were not near the family. Yes, exactly. Yes,
Saturday Night Live.
Mrs. put the link to that elections night skit, folks. I don't care whatever party you are. It was a great. It was funny, and I think it really captured a lot of people's reaction that night. So check it out if you want a good laugh. Let's see.
Well, I like what broke. It's got me jonesing now because I haven't gone to the movies and had a full service dinner type. The last one I went to was that dollar bin one for $5 that I went to.
But you got hosed the other day with the theaters closed when you went to see the Christopher Reeve thing.
Oh, dude, and then they're coming back, but I'll be in Ireland. It's coming back on again, a reshow. I hope they do it again for everybody out there. If you missed it, it was the 21st and the 25th, I think, was the Christopher Reeve documentary special showing, and it was Wednesday when the weather here wasn't bad. I mean, it was fine. The schools were closed and everything was closed, and everybody was getting ready for Thursday night. But Wednesday afternoon, I went to the movie theater. Everything else was still open, but they had closed, and I was like, "Ooh, I got hosed." I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah. You got hosed.
And I got hosed.
Well,
it was a 4 o'clock show.
Point,
the weather wasn't even coming in until Thursday. In Irish, you say Thursday. Okay, and that's how you say it, Thursday. And then,
Thursday.
But it was closed, so I missed the Christopher Reeve documentary.
Now, I've been to some of these type of theaters. It depends on what they are. Like the mom and pop or one type of private ones where you sit around a table and you can actually use a table and eat. I don't have a problem with them there. But in a regular seating movie theaters, I'd rather just go with popcorn, pretzels, and finger foods.
They had one back in Virginia, man. You could order full service steaks. I mean, full service, man. Whiskey, beer. And the seats were phenomenal. I mean, you got to be careful when you're drinking in a movie, though. It's like if you drove.
Well, that's right? What I've never been because I was back here in the land of koalas.
Combat Wombat.
The Alamo Draft Steakhouse. Alamo Draft House.
Draft House, yeah.
And they've unfortunately apparently been cutting back on a lot of their menus and closing some of the theaters down.
That's
but
the one.
yeah,
that's the one, Alamo.
Yeah, and you look at some of the original menu there that they had. Oh dear God, sign me up.
Yeah, you're talking 3 or 4 pages of menus of stuff.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
full service restaurant,
and very comfy seating accommodation. And you pay extra, but you get to eat, you get to drink, and you get to be comfortable with leg room. So
yes,
I mean that's like a first class plane ticket versus coach.
Yes,
yeah, well, my only thing is if you go.
Tim is saying home to the AFL champions, the Brisbane Lions. Hungry, you're Australia. Brisbane. I know it's Brisbane. Okay, go ahead, Dave. Y'all vamp for a second. I'll be quiet.
No, well, but they'll even serve high end, but they'll serve alcohol, right? Not just beer. They'll serve whiskey and stuff like that. And then you're like, oh man, I want to go see. I don't know how long was Avengers Endgame? 2.5, 3 hours.
Yes.
So, because I'm trying to think of how long ago that I saw a really big movie. I won't count this one because I didn't buy the tickets, the Batman, but it might have been Justice League. So, if you go to a long movie, I want to probably have 2, 3 Jamesons, and I'm not going to drive. So, you gotta behave. Get there, have one.
It is a taxi night. Or you have a teetotal friend.
And so we all know what the prices of movies are these days, right? So now, Hungry, you have to Uber if you plan on drinking more than 2 or 3. Yeah. If I have 3, I'm not driving. Even 2, I don't do that. And I mean, I'm not going to say I've never, but I won't. I won't. If I get 3, I'm getting Uber. So if I plan it, I mean, are you talking a $200 movie night, man? $300, right?
But to back you up, if it's going to be that expensive, why not make a real night out of it and make it a $275 night and have the real food, the real chairs, and be able to have like you said, sometimes from what I see, I'm not a big whiskey drinker, but the selection of whiskey is not that great. But the selection of beers at the Alamo Draft House,
they had some JMO, I think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's not like you're going to a movie and you want to drink Johnny Walker Blue.
No, I'm not like I'll drink Jameson. I'm not going to go that high end at a movie theater, but it's a night out. You plan that ahead, but damn, it better be a good movie.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, when you said you went to see Justice League, I'm like, yeah, you made the right choice. Go to the Alamo for that one.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. God, it's been so long. I don't remember the movie that I went to see at that place. It's that years up in Virginia, years ago. And I haven't done a big movie night since probably like Justice League. No, my buddy had the Batman tickets. That's the only reason I went to go see it at the theater, because he offered, and we all had dinner and stuff, but it wasn't at the theater like Brogan and I are talking about. I want to do that. I think but I'm going to have to wait for like maybe something like a Godzilla -1. Or something like that to come out before I drop $200 going to the movies.
Yeah, and for me right now, because of the road work, right, it cost me $35 one way in the taxi to get to the nearest theater, and then it's going to cost me $60 theater, and it's going to cost me $60 to get back, because we have to go all the way up, twice as far up the highway, and then circle around the construction site.
I'm trying to figure out how broken this easily get to $200 if you're not careful, because maybe it's because if you have 4 or 5 people, because the Miss and I can pretty much, I guess it also depends on where you live. We can get out of the movies for under $40 a lot of times. Now, we were part of a movie club. We can actually combine it with some deals and discounted tickets that we have. But you have to shop well. You have to be very vigilant and look at different options. But you can make movies more affordable these days.
Oh, and Emily, is that you? Because I don't recognize that username.
Yeah,
she's got a message for you, Dadman.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. Do what you have to do. You can never be too careful. Exactly.
It's good to see you again, Emily. Very good to see you. Sorry, I get a little literally minded sometimes, and so I saw Emiliana, and I thought, Could that be Emily? I don't know. It's hard to
it
tell.
is.
But it's really good to see you. Thank you for stopping by again.
Well, come back when you change your account, right?
Yeah.
Or at least keep this one for a while so I can come up with a new song, because now I got to change my little song for you because the name's different. I'm gonna have to. It'll take a little bit of work. Emily on. Okay, I'll think of a tune.
I'm sure you will. Hungry is very, very, very good. Mrs. said the drinks are expensive. That's what adds to the bill. I know, but you got to have the drink. Gotta have the drink.
Well, if you plan on it, like if I went and I drove, I wouldn't probably drink any alcohol. Maybe
and
one.
I think Brogu was also talking about full dining menu too. I forgot. I keep in my mind. It's a foreign concept. I am still stuck with soda and popcorn or nachos. But yeah,
they serve full on restaurant dining experience, man, and bring it to you.
Yeah,
you can literally. Yeah, you can order a full course meal.
Okay, she's talking about the alcoholic drinks. Yeah, so it's.
I'll do the previous Emily jingle, but then I'm gonna have to come up with a new one. Emily Gangadine and the Retrievers. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. We got 11 people still watching. We still got 11 people watching us at what time? Oh, approaching 1 o'clock. We are almost 2 hours into this. I got the great Dave C that came on because Hungry Boy was late, didn't pay his light bill, so he's late. I know. Hungry Guy delayed by power, which you told me about, which is we were expecting this, and that's why I set it up, and you got here as soon as you could. So,
yeah, I mean,
Dave,
I'll be look. This is just something you guys will understand, both Dave and Dadman, for different reasons. You'll understand. My entire half of my yard has died because there are plants that are designed for dry weather, right? Plants designed for dry weather do not do well when they are flooded up to 6 inches off the ground with water. No. And it takes time for that water to go down. You ask the missus, you do not overwater certain plants. That'll kill them. So,
you overwatered what peppers were they, Mrs.? Habaneros, and they'll grow like bastards, like bunnies multiplying in the springtime. I'm serious. You should have seen her. I mean, she kept watering those damn things, and they kept multiplying. It was like you take 3 baskets and 5 loaves of fish, 3 fish and 5 loaves, and sorry, I don't mean, but it's like those things multiplied like bunnies.
No. Multiply like bastards is really funny because I thought you were making a British royalty joke there.
Oh no, I'm just debased bunny humor,
Debased bunny humor.
Yeah.
Well, the best bunny line in all of or best scene in all of cinematic history, we know where that one's from, right, guys?
Yes, we do. The Purple Bunny.
Yeah, run away.
That one, yes, exactly.
The holy hand grenade. Bring the holy hand grenade.
Brother Maynard, bring out the holy hand grenade of Antioch. Yes.
It's the guy
we even got Chief Judge buying now, say.
The guy who was talking about it's just a bunny.
It's just a rabbit.
It's just a bunny.
But he's good teeth, and he's like putting his fingers up there like teeth.
Dave, you'll laugh at this. I really wish somebody would do an animated fan movie of the Vorpal Bunny versus Bugs Bunny, and the Vorpal Bunny tears Bugs Bunny apart.
Yeah.
Oh, but hey, Mrs. did say that she didn't realize, and that's true. She didn't realize they were being watered. Timer was still on. Yes, exactly. So now, see, here's one that I don't know if you had these, Hungry, but for a long time we had dollar movies. You remember, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
They would just run the dollar movies, and you go out and have popcorn soda and enjoy the movie. See, at that point, I tell you, with the dollar theaters, it's like, charge me whatever you want for popcorn or drink, because they got to make money somehow. But
that's how theaters actually made most of their monies after 1965.
Mm-hmm.
The concessions were where most of the profit came from. That's why the price is so high.
Well, what happened? Did the studios change what profit? What happened? What's 65? Did the studios
just not sustainable?
Or did the studios take more of a cut?
Both. You are doubly correct. You were doubly correct. The studio system changed, and also the price of the tickets went up a little bit. But a lot of it had to do with how much money the theaters, or as we would say, the cinemas here, how much they were receiving. And you have dollar bin stuff. Sorry, not dollar bin. Dollar days. What was that? I got to go back up in the chat.
Dollar movie theaters.
Dollar movie theater.
Actually, the whole movie theater, you go to, it was $1 for a movie. It was not dollar days like some do discounted movie days. No, it was every movie was $1.
They used to call that the matinee showing, right? So you'd go.
These were theaters.
All day.
These were theaters. That's all they did, morning to night.
That was their.
What they did, they were second run movies, or after movies had left the main theaters, they come through maybe some old movies. Yeah, exactly. Dollar theaters were great.
We never had those. Not here.
Well,
they were great.
They used to have them down in Bardstown Road in the Highlands in Louisville. There was one, so we used to go all the time. But we used to sneak in alcohol and stuff like that. Except for popcorn, we sneak in the little bottles, and then you get half a thing of Coke. It's like they look at you all weird. Then they smile and they know what's up because it's just some teenager working.
Oh, right. Well, let me ask you a
it
question.
Didn't last long.
I'll ask a PG-13, but not a PG question. Okay. So if you have a dollar theater and they're showing the movies inexpensively all day long.
Yeah.
Did some young men take their dates to those theaters we know what happens in dark movie theaters between a guy and a gal? You know what I mean?
Took them there because they didn't have any money, so that's a good option.
That's kind of what I was leaning towards.
No comment.
I'm gonna take you out to a movie, baby. Oh, thank you. Oh,
dollar show.
We're watching Rocky Horror Picture Show again.
Watch Big Trouble in Little China for the 15th time.
I'm just saying, no comment. No comment.
Oh, and also the really cheap knockoff horror movies, Dave. They must have been at the dollar theaters, right?
Well, I remember the one that I was referring to. It was a couple of my buddies, Lee and a couple other guys, and we wanted to go see Apocalypse Now.
Oh, really?
And we wanted to go out on the town that night. So we're like, well, why don't we do like the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock show or whatever down at the dollar? And we're like, what's playing? Apocalypse Now. I was like, oh, we're in.
Yeah.
And, we'd load up and Lee would stick a couple beers in the pant leg. And I have my little half pint or whatever, because I didn't want to pregame that bad. But, to go down to the Apocalypse Now, have a few, and then head out on the town, man. It's a good night. And it's only $1.
Yep.
And I would still get popcorn and a soda for my mixer or whatever, and some candy. And like, to answer Dadman's question, it's just not sustainable over a period of time unless because they don't want to charge double what a regular theater would for popcorn just to make it up. So they're still charging, and they're still charging less than the regular theaters for popcorn and all that. But if you don't own the building, then you know what the problem is there, right? Rent.
I've never gone to Rocky Horror. I think the missus has before. I don't think I ever will. No. No. I hear what they do with new people, so you take a woman to dollar movie day, you're not getting nothing from her. Well,
drizzle.
Depends on who you take out, or how hot you are. So hey,
it's the drizzle movement, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, now what is Dadman? You've never seen Creep Show?
Back to you. Hey, back to you, Peter Venkman.
You've never seen Creep Show?
No. And I'm not a big horror guy, so.
But you've never seen either one of those?
But there's humor in Creep Show.
Citrus.
Hey, the Mighty Citrus. Right. The Mighty Citrus. But there's humor in it. And Ted Danson from Cheers, before he got on Cheers.
That's all the reason why I don't want to see the damn movie.
Why?
But Rocky Horror?
No, Ted Danson in a damn movie,
Oh, I forgot. You're not a big fan of Ted.
Oh, no.
It's not like
Ted Danson. I see him in Saving Private Ryan. God, to have him, Alec Baldwin playing Jimmy Doolittle really pissed me off, too.
Oh.
Pearl Harbor. It's like, damn, great heroes. But anyway, Mrs. and I have developed a system where we get the reloadable popcorn, the free refill. and we try to get a bag. Again, I'm going to bring in a bag or have a little to-go box thing, so that way we can get them, and then we can dump all the popcorn in the bag or box. So then we can go immediately get the refills. So we have 2 buckets of popcorn during the movie.
Nice.
That's a good plan.
Exactly. So, and hey, Dadman and Laundry. Well, hey, never say that. Never say never, right, Mrs.? So.
Well, I mean, honestly,
oh, God, no. Damn it, no. I just realized what that meant.
Gross.
No, Frankenfurter. No, Frankenfurter. No.
Come on, do the Tim Curry. Seem like Tim Curry.
No. Mrs. has her own ideas for me, and no.
Oh, Dave, I just realized why Dadman.
There's a limit to what one man can do.
I just realized, Dave, why Dadman is never going to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The missus explained to him about the virgin ceremony. You know what I mean?
I had to think about it, but yeah. If I had to remember something,
I've been through one of those.
Beckman just messed my brain up. I locked up because I was trying not to actually even come close to looking at Dadman and Tim Curry wearing the same thing.
No. But I mean, even though
I can't.
Even though it's completely heterosexual, can you imagine Dadman sitting in the theater when he's about 25 years old? Okay, and some actress from the live cast playing Magenta, all right, not Columbia, Magenta, comes up in a G-string and starts putting her booty in his face. I mean, Dadman would not react well to that.
Well, there's a lot of movie theaters.
Wait.
Oh!
Wait. I'm a red-blooded, all-American man, okay? The only thing that would stop me from reacting would be there's only one thing that would stop me from reacting in the way that you remind me.
You're monogamous.
Yes.
And in love with the missus.
Yes. So right there, see, there's where. But no,
you're not confident enough to wear that outfit.
Look,
that's right.
I'm confident to kick ass in any damn thing I do, you know? but I just not. Buddy.
Except the Howard Cosell impression, but yes.
Now see, it's not rice in my eyes, it's bird seed in my ear, because when we got married, we got pelted with bird seed because the missus wanted the bird seed instead of the rice. And
I like that.
Actually, we didn't even get out of the church parking lot. The missus had to get bird seed out of my ear canal. It was like,
that's not good.
No, but yeah. The buddy said that they keep a plastic bin in the trunk for refill popcorn. Get the refill on the way out and dump. Yeah, see, we've done that too. We either get the refills
nice.
On the way home, or hey,
wow,
hey,
Buddy is like gorilla.
What?
Buddy's like guerrilla warfare with the popcorn. I really like
exactly.
That.
Damn it, it's expensive enough. You're gonna get your money's worth. You know, they offer free refill. You're going to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, though. This is because we don't have any of these cheap theaters, cinemas in Australia anymore. The last time I snuck something in, because I'm in Australia, so you know about dry as a bone jackets, right? The duster coats, the big long duster coats. The guys.
Well, here we would call them the Western long coats, right?
Right. Well, we have extra pockets in those, and they are deep pockets. They sometimes go 10 inches deep and 4 inches wide. I snuck in 2 double-decker homemade deli sandwiches into mine, and I snuck in a flask of like homemade soda to go with it.
Nice.
Non-alcoholic.
Sneaking in Whoppers and stuff like that. Big Macs.
Yeah. I only do cold food.
And Brogu's right. They do that up in Virginia. I'm sure they do it down here in Tampa up there. Dadman is that at midnight they would show the Rocky Horror, and you got to buy tickets in advance, like especially on Halloween. Yeah. You want to go out and do some Halloween stuff, and then you want to go to the Rocky Horror at midnight, you got to buy tickets way in advance. Then everybody dresses up, and I haven't done it, but I know people who told me they went to it and they said it was fabulous. It was just fun.
It is fun.
I know the missus has done it before and stuff like that, so I don't know. It's just still.
Well, it's like
But,
a huge party. People are in the aisles, and you can't really do that too much in the movie theater because it's like fire code. But they have like designated areas sometimes, I guess, depending on the theater that if they have the really old school one, you can have some space down there. But the fire code, but people dance and stuff like that.
But also, Dave, we must acknowledge, for the sake of Dadman, a real, true live Rocky
I am
Horror
sitting here.
A real live Rocky Horror Night is definitely R-rated in the live version. It is not PG or PG-13.
Well, yeah. I always thought it was R. Wasn't it?
No, I don't mean the movie. I mean what people are doing. The audience interaction with the live cast. And the live cast are generally going to be people who want to get into theater, like stage theater, but they tend to be very naughty people. If you know what I mean. And
it's not a kid's event.
No,
I mean, it's not a freaking, but it's still not a kid's thing. That's why it's a midnight show for adults to dress up like that and go have fun.
Exactly. So
it's very burlesque. It's very burlesque. Very burlesque.
All right. Well, we're after 1 o'clock at night. We've gone about 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 minutes. Yeah. I think I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap up. So, oh man, we got 19 likes. Somebody made that 20th like, so we can hit 20.
Oh, come on. Just 25 minutes more. Come on, Dad, man.
Okay, then hold on. I got to go get some more tea and a damn snack. I'll be back. You guys
okay.
You can keep talking about your simple show if you want to.
Because it's hot.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to suggest, Dave?
Kicking off Halloween season, we should do like recommendations, but nothing like Alien. That's not for Halloween.
The common stuff. We won't do the common stuff.
Right. And it can be really, really bad. But I was thinking I've got a couple recommendations that are pretty good for Halloween that are off the radar. Although I think people here would know it, especially Hungry in the chat. One of them at least, and one is way off the radar. But I thought it was great. But you never know.
Well, now you have piqued my interest.
Well, I was waiting for Dadman to go load up.
He said, I'm going to go load up. You guys. Well, I'll come back. Just give me a second. Y'all vamp for a second. Hungry can be the musical commercial interlude.
Yeah. Well, no worries, because
Speaking of that,
brought up,
I
thought you were gone.
I'm about to I had a thought. Intermissions in movie theaters. I miss intermissions. To take a leak or to get more food.
Right. Okay. Now,
if it was Lord of the Rings extended cut, yeah.
We and here here we used to call them interval. Like interval, you pronounce it interval. We say interval, and so how Gandhi was a really long damn movie. We had half an hour interval, and the movie was divided into 2 parts.
Wow.
And so we had what you call intermission up until about 1983, and then it went the way of the dodo. But let's get back to horror movie recommendations for Halloween. Yes. It's throwing hairs in my chest.
Is Dadman here or gone? He's gone. So,
but he doesn't want to talk about horror movies that much. He's giving you the opportunity to talk about horror movies. That's why he was going to
end the stream.
No,
so I was just dragging it out.
No. I would love to hear some of your recommendations for off the radar, as you put it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When he gets back, and then we're also talking about Corked Unlimited, right? Those production companies.
Yes.
And what was the other one that you had? Asylum.
Yes.
And then I was thinking of another one, and I found myself the other day going on Tubi. Well, I got Shudder. The other day because it was a free trial for 7 days. I just blazed through these terrible movies. Some of them I just couldn't even. Well, I don't even know the names of 99% of them. Actually, I don't even remember any of them that I tried to watch. But you go through and just watch the trailers, and just go.
I have a list of 45. I have a list of 45 horror movies I'm going to watch on Tubi.
Nice.
45.
Well, if you can get a 7-day trial at Shudder, you can burn through a lot
No,
of
because
them.
they don't, because I'm not going to use a VPN. I'm not going to cheat.
Ah.
Oh
no, that's legit.
Sorry, wait a second. Wait a second. JT went to take a leak and we're unleashed.
Hey,
Well, you shouldn't take a leak. You shouldn't be going to bed so damn early. You think you're old? But good to see you, JT. So,
Shudder, I have tried every year for 4 years. I check on Shudder and sorry, we do not. What I don't remember what they said, but basically service your area, right?
I never have either, Peter Venkman.
And check back soon because we might. And I check back every year. Shudder does not give a crap about the cassowary country.
Nice. What is that?
Sorry,
that man snacking.
I'm good. Hold on.
Are you all right? Do you need assistance?
How about a sneeze?
Oh, okay. So come on, Dave. Don't leave me hanging. What was your total off-radar movie recommendation for Halloween?
I actually had 2 of them, and we all know who John Pertwee is, right?
Oh, you're gonna do a Sean Pertwee movie?
Yes,
yeah,
I am. And I think you might have even mentioned this before a long time ago. Dog Soldiers.
Yes.
So, and I'll pull up the IMDb if you want to share. I don't know. I don't have it on a shared screen, but it's called Dog Soldiers. It's a werewolf movie.
Yeah.
The premise is they're military guys, and it was pretty good. I mean, I liked it. I liked the acting. Like the werewolves weren't too bad.
Yeah.
And would you know it, Hungry Dadman?
I have no clue.
Okay. Just so people know, Dave was not giving a spoiler because the original movie poster gives it away.
Yeah, I can't. I was going to do the IMDb. I was going to do the IMDb and another picture, but I'm not going to do it.
Look, the moment you see even the poster, if you even just punch in Dog Soldiers on Google, you're going to see an image that's basically going to tell you it's a werewolf movie. So, it's not a spoiler.
We still have JT awake tonight. I guess we keep it. Dog-Faced Pony Soldiers is a better sequel.
And I have two other
Comet. Comet is like a free channel.
I have 2 other Sean Pertwee horror films to suggest, but the other werewolf film, which might be a bit much for people to take, is Ginger Snaps. And
I've seen it. Yeah.
You know why I'm saying it might be a bit much for people to take, right?
Yeah. It could be. Because there's a sequel to that too, I think.
Now, Sean Pertwee, people forget this, was in one of Anti-Derivative Jill's favorite horror films, a sci-fi horror film called Event Horizon.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that freaked me out. That
movie was so boring, though.
No, did you watch the censored version, Dadman?
I don't know what the hell I watched. It was a Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill, who I usually like. It was just like
too
slow. Yeah. Too slow, too talking. But maybe I'll go back and try it again.
You fell asleep before the final 30 minutes, didn't you?
Probably. It was damn boring. Like, let's walk around the ship, let's talk to each other. I don't.
Okay, my second.
See, I'm not bad. I'm not alone.
Oh, buddy, no. Tell me it's not true. But my second suggestion is for Dave with his previous career, which I won't mention publicly, but we know what you did professionally for a while. And also for Dadman, who absolutely loves military history. And this is a Sean Pertwee horror movie, which is based on historical military history.
It's a military movie too.
Yes, it's called Death Watch.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
And it is a fantastic
Please not Death Watch. Please not Death Watch. Please not Death Watch. That's like Star Wars. The Death Watch is a term of a group in Star Wars, I think. The new Star Wars.
Well, this was a movie that's set in the trench warfare areas of Europe in World War I, and they have everything accurately depicted.
Okay.
Everything.
Well, what about Brogu here? What Brogu asked, do you guys remember a horror movie called The Keep? I don't.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
I'd have to see the cover of the movie or whatever, the poster, right?
My family never forgave me for convincing them to see that in the theater when it came out.
It's an older one, right, Brogu?
1983, 84.
Yes, you are correct. 83. Good one. Nice.
I remember seeing it.
This. I don't.
Yeah, and it actually had Sir Ian McKellen in one of his earliest movie roles.
Ooh, wow.
He was young and pretty back then, dude. It's a freak out watching him in that. Wow. And it had music by the guy who did the music for Miami Vice.
Hans Zimmer? Not Hans Zimmer. Was it Hans Zimmer? Yeah.
Jan Hammer. Jan Hammer. And at least there's no way he could. You never call Vincent Price pretty. No, never.
Vincent Price was not in the Keep.
No, not Vincent Price.
I know, but I just felt like making a Vincent Price comment for Hungry right there.
I get it. Sorry.
I'm looking at the poster for this, guys, and if Broger remember, it looks like it's the Swamp Thing. They ripped it off from Swamp.
Oh, that's funny. That's actually
pull it up, everybody. It's got the Cylon eye. That is so weird. He looks like the Swamp. But now I remember the poster, the main poster, the monster, and it looks like Swamp Thing, but metallic with red eyes.
The thing is, there are actually, because I remember the movie quite clearly, and I've seen it 3 times, and about 2 years ago was the last time. The creature goes through 3 development phases. So first you have like the energy phase, and then you have when it's starting to create itself, and that's the scariest version. And then you have what is referred to as the golem or golem phase, and that's the Swamp Thing final phase. Nice. And also it involves the brutal jackbooters from Berlin, if you know who I mean, and I think you do, getting seriously messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I love any film where the jackbooters from Berlin get messed up. Sign me up for
that. How else do you think they screwed up the Indiana Jones franchise when they kept getting rid of those guys? The movie sucked. That's not even getting to nuke the fridge, but anyway.
But, by the way, Peter Venkman. A little known fact. Vincent Price actually used to play the nice guy in movies in the 40s, even I think maybe the very late 30s, but the 40s and 50s until he really needed a job. He needed a starring role. He was always playing the secondary character, the nice guy who the girl wasn't choosing because she had to go for the naughty guy, right, Dave? You know what I'm talking about. And he wanted to be a song and dance man.
Was a stud.
He was too tall. He was too tall, and they thought his face was a bit sinister. And then he got The House of Wax. And that film, I mean, box office records. It was also one of the earliest 3D films. And that is how Vincent Price became a horror icon. Very similar to Christopher Lee, who also was a song and dance man and also wanted to play the lead. Christopher Lee is way too damn tall to play the lead.
Yeah.
Way too damn
tall. Really tall, dude.
Yes.
And so was Vincent Price, if I remember.
Yeah.
So
here's the character.
I see. To me, but let me to answer this question. I was really never a Vincent Price fan because he freaked me out as a kid too much. So the voice and things like that. It wasn't until Thriller came around I kind of actually chilled out with him. And it wasn't until then I actually chilled out about the guy. So.
Well, he played a very kindly man, a very kindly creator father in Edward Scissorhands. He created Edward Scissorhands. And that's the only part of the film I like. I hate that bloody movie. Tim Burton, bite me.
I haven't seen that since when it first came out.
Ditto, because I hate the movie.
You guys want to see the monster from the Keep?
Yeah, do it.
It's hilarious. It's
Broku
great.
has a question though about the Hammer movies.
Oh yeah, they're classic.
I have seen about. I know you told me what they are hungry, but I'm not. I can't answer this. This is these two guys, and let me say hello to Wes Cagle.
I'll give Brogues a real answer. I have seen every proper Hammer horror film. Okay, now they did some films that are slasher. I don't care about movies where it's a normal guy who maybe puts on a mask and he picks up a blade and he just does nasty things to people. That's just the weekly news. Okay, that's not a horror film. But I've seen every Hammer Dracula film, every Hammer Frankenstein film. I've seen every Quatermass film, and people forget that Hammer, when Hammer used to be like a lighthearted film company. Okay, and then they got the rights to do Quatermass, the first Quatermass movie in the 1950s after the success of the live to air television Quatermass serial on the BBC, which became appointment television in the 1950s. And Hammer made so much money, they said, guys, we're switching to horror. This is where the money is at. And in 1958, they came up with Curse of Frankenstein, and they also did and Dracula, and that's the first time we see Christopher Lee playing the Count, and
Christopher Lee and
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing.
Yes, playing Van Helsing.
Oh my gosh, two of the most ugliest.
What? How dare you, sir? How dare
you? But they're in the movies together.
Yeah, but hey, but stop. Hammer time. But yeah, who was it asked about? Bergu had asked a couple times tonight. What about Hammer? Do you like? I don't know Hammer. The Hammer movies. What about you guys? Do you like Hammer? I don't know if I like. I don't know what a Hammer horror movie is, so I'd have to.
Hammer Films was a production company, so it's like saying, do you like Fox movies versus Paramount, versus Disney versus Canon? Golden Globus.
Golden Globus with Conan and all them. Yeah.
All right. So it looks like we are now at.
Also they did non-Dracula, non-Frankenstein horror films. One of their best films, actually I'll list two that have nothing to do with Frankenstein or Dracula. Yeah, eat them chips, bitch. Eat them chips on air. Go ahead.
Sorry about that, Dave. Sorry about that, Hungry.
No, it's okay. But they did this wonderful, incredibly creepy science fiction horror called The Creeping Flesh. Okay. That one's really good. Slow burn, really tragic ending. Just warning, no spoilers, downbeat ending. And they also did a film called The Gorgon, which is about, no spoilers, it's in the title. It's about the Gorgon.
Yep.
And
I've actually seen that one.
Yeah, and it's got Peter Cushing in it and Patrick Troughton, who is my favorite Doctor Who, the second Doctor Who.
Did they actually have Medusa in it?
No, it was her sister.
It's the actual Gorgon.
No, there were three Gorgons. There were three Gorgons. Three sisters, one of which was Medusa, and then one of which disappeared, and we never know where she went. So Hammer said, "Oh well, maybe she went to Germany."
Oh gosh, what?
Show these low budget movies. We'll just cast her in that. She can't get a job anywhere else.
I mean, she's immortal anyway. She could have walked, dude.
Yeah. Well,
she could have. She could have got a ferry boat to the coast of Europe and walked all the way to Germany. There's no reason that plot can't happen.
Yeah.
And then it was like this. It was a horror film, but the Gorgon is like this beautiful late 1700s watercolor painting, with the way the sets were designed and the costumes and the attention to detail. But it is a creepy movie. It's not terrifying. Okay. It's not a terrifying Hammer film. It's not. You look at Scars of Dracula, that can be very scary if you look at it in the right light. Creeping Flesh, if you can make it to the last 20 minutes. Quatermass, the first Quatermass film is terrifying, and that's actually considered to be the first body horror film way before the 80s, because you have, no spoilers, you have a human being who encounters something that's purely an accident. Nobody can be blamed. It's not like The Fly. Where you could blame the scientists for what happened, right? But you have the astronaut's body starting to change, in quotation marks. You know what I mean by change, Dave? Change in unfortunate ways.
Yeah.
Well, when a man loves a woman and they come together, okay, never mind. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And the special effects were really scary, but they still managed to just the original version of the film was getting a British X rating, and they cut it down for the American ratings, but they actually did not cut it down for the British ratings because they knew they were going to get so many people coming to the theater because they'd all seen the original television show, right? So it actually got an X rating, which is an X rating in Britain does not mean the same thing as an X rating in the United States, especially not in the 1950s. And it was an amazing film. Unfortunately, we only have one episode of the original TV show left because, hello, BBC. Why don't you wipe some more tapes? Why don't you destroy some more original material? Go ahead. Do it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't know what popped in my head. I guess you said British. It's not British, but I think that because of the lady that's in it, I think she's English. Matilda May.
Oh.
And Life Force.
Life Force. Yeah.
Come on, everybody in the chat, if you haven't seen Life Force.
Oh, I've watched that film 5 times, dude.
Oh, I probably watched it more than that.
And also for the Trekkies, guess what? Patrick Stewart's in that movie.
Patrick Stewart is in this movie. Steve Railsback and Dadman. If you've not seen Life Force, the main character besides Steve Railsback, she walks around completely nude the whole show. The
only thing I know about Picard and two characters is when Butthead tells Beavis, number one, I ordered you to go take a number 2.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so.
Well, Patrick Stewart also was in the David Lynch version of Dune.
All right.
Patrick Stewart did stuff before TNG. Let's just say he did have a career before TNG. But Life Force is fantastic because you also get these wonderful pre-CGI horror effects. And they have to use a lot of life-size puppets because I mean, look, again, no spoilers. Dave knows what I'm talking about. Life Force is the title.
It is the title. Yeah, it's a. And I think JT, I think it's a canon movie, if I remember right. Yeah,
I think you're right.
I looked it up.
But they suck the life force out of people. It's in the poster, okay? It's not a spoiler. And when they do it, the effects are really pretty amazing for the time. And it was directed by Tobe Hooper, who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. And for the ladies, there's a couple of dude vampires in there, just because Dadman, I don't know if you heard what I said because you immediately moved on to a Beavis and Butthead joke that the main character in Life Force. Well, I'm just saying. It's just like you didn't even hear me. She's completely naked the whole movie.
Yeah.
And this came out in the 80s. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Rogo and I want to show this character for the keep before you close it up. Okay, I'm just going to let you can share my screen.
Yeah, because we're going to close after this. We're almost at 2.5 hours. So
get ready for this guy.
Wow. He looks like a Terminator. He looks like a Terminator in a lot of ways.
Well, immediately to me it was Swamp Thing, right? Like with the neck and the head, kind of. Yeah. Like you said, a Terminator. I was thinking Cylon Swamp Thing.
Either way, that'd be cool.
I've got to go back and watch this now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if it's on Tubi or something.
Oh, I have to check. I forget about this channel sometimes. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're at 2 hours 28 minutes. So in the next 2 minutes, we'll make the 2.5 hour mark. Dave, thank you for popping on early.
Thanks for having me, man.
Coming in to help me find some things to talk about before the court jester finally made it in. Hungry, thank you again. Great to stream and talk tonight.
Oh, look, I'm sorry I was late, but you know the reason why. And I'm sorry I had to mute for a second, but you and Dave made me laugh so hard I had to go pee. So,
wow, what is it with people and their bladders around here? That's kind of crazy. So, Dave,
I'm middle-aged.
Huh? What? I am too, damn it. Don't see me peeing 20 times in a show. Although I do it when I go to get tea. But hey. All right.
I usually have to
we
get my
got to keep it
3-hour
rolling in and out. So, yeah. And so, about you, Dave, what do you got going on? How are you doing with things?
Not much, really. Just Wednesday night, Battlestar Galactica Comics continuation at 9 Eastern. And then probably do more stuff. The week after that, I go to Ireland for a week. So after that, maybe I'll start picking up some more streams, with the Halloween season. That's always a fun time.
Well, when you go to Ireland, look up the work of Jim Fitzpatrick, because he was a major inspiration to Barry Windsor Smith, who did the original Conan the Barbarian comic book.
Ooh, Barry Windsor Smith sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is actually the favorite comic book artist of Andre from Midnight's Edge. And I love Barry Windsor Smith, but I even love Jim Fitzpatrick more. And his art was chosen for a heritage building in Ireland. And you know how hard the Irish take their heritage.
Yeah, well, there's an archaeology museum just a few minutes away from the hotel. I'm going to go to that. There's like a whole area of that. Definitely doing that.
Good.
All right.
In the Jameson factory.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all tonight. Thanks for being here. You guys in the chat, how do you? Thanks for being here. So many people in and out. We appreciate it. We ended up with 20 likes, but thanks for everybody. 7 still watching us. Make sure you like or subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, the Missus is live tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. Mrs. Dadman Walking 55 on YouTube. Catch her as as she laughs away and has fun doing her streams. I hope to see you there at 10 o'clock. And if not, hey, she will be live 1 o'clock tomorrow with another build stream. And then again on Thursday night at 5 p.m., just puttering around in Lego Fortnite. So plenty of chances to see her tomorrow and during the rest of the week. So I hope you do that. I also hope that you she'll have links, and when you go over there, she'll post links to her Ko-fi account and her Throne account. So ways to donate to her for the hard work and stuff, and keep more money than the YouTube super chats, and it's a good way to help support your local creators. Without all the other rules, YouTube rules, and cuts of how many whatever percentage of what they want off the top.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, all that, guys. We are over 2:30. Dave, again, thank you. Hungry, thank you again. Chat, y'all have been wonderful. Thank y'all so much. And yes, great. Hey, it's only great because you guys in the chat, well, these guys in the panel, but you guys in the chat help make it even better.
Yep, absolutely.
On that note, we'll say good night. We'll see you all next time we stream. Oh, by the way, Wednesday night should have sports at 10 p.m. Friday, a squirrel stream 10 p.m. So make plans to be there with us, guys. All right. Catch y'all later. Bye, all.
Night, yo.